we're back. I forget if that's tonally appropriate because we recorded on a couple days ago, and we're back. There, I hope that's a little better. Listeners,
We're
hello.
somberly back.
And what a scene we're coming back on. Do you want to just get right into it?
Yeah, so this is the dream sequence. Before Laura goes to bed, she takes the painting that Miss Chalfont gave her and was like, this would look nice on your wall. And she puts it up and has a dream of the painting. And there's a fucking terrifying, like, I love the like, we see the painting and then we see the shot of it as a real life place is like so
Oh my
scary.
god, that's exquisite. Yeah, and then I don't think we've seen this like wallpaper in this physical space before, right? So like the camera kind of moves through this door. Mrs. Chalfont is there and kind of does she say something?
No, I think she just gestures.
Yeah, it gestures her
And
like
then
further
we
inward.
see the son, the like grandson who's David Lynch's son, do a like reverse snap and there's like a rush of fire.
Mm-hmm. And then we go into I think Dale, is that
Yeah,
right?
and then it's like Dale time. It feels like somehow like Laura is being beckoned to witness Dale in the like Black Lodge Red Room, which honestly is like my first note on this is I love the willingness to all of a sudden now just like invest new vocabulary in like what is the Black Lodge and like spirit land, you know?
Yeah, I think there's a chance it could have sort of gotten stale if we were only showing the curtains and the iconic floor
Which I
forever.
yeah, which I guess we got a bit of in the like above the convenience store, but I think it's just like I think it's really interesting. Like like the curtains and the floor are iconic, obviously, but I think it's really it's almost like it's more unsettling when we are first drawn into this like weird, like wallpapered space that we know is also fucked up, and we're like shown that it's connected to it, but it like adds enough of a sense of
Yeah.
destabilization that we're like, what the fuck? Like it feels like anything could happen, you know?
Yes, I completely agree. The fact of Dale being in here, and so his message to Laura, right, is like, "Don't take the ring, Laura. Don't take the ring." My interpretation of that the other day was basically that maybe Dale has always been in the Red Room, or like some version of him has always been in there. Maybe the evil doppelganger or whatever. But actually, the
Mm,
version of Dale we see here seems likely to me to be like good, real Dale. I don't know. It's tough to figure out because like I don't totally understand what the ring does, but either the ring like would have stopped her from dying or it would have led to her being possessed, I guess. Um,
so I
mhm.
feel pretty confident that it's like non-doppelganger Dale that we see here. Just because again, the like visual tell of the like cataracted, whited over eyes was like
True,
so
eh?
consistent for the doppelgangers in Beyond Life and Death.
And I guess also like the season two, yeah, Beyond Life and Death, when the evil version of Dale is out of the Red Room, even if he doesn't have that eyes thing, his mannerisms are super weird.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so
Um
this is probably real Dale trying to
and
be
something
helpful.
something I will say is I'm forgetting the exact specifics, but we know there was a season 2 episode. It's funny, you can tell it has been like we recorded, we like spent a while just mass editing stuff. It's been like a while since we recorded the last season 2 episode. So I
Yeah.
forget where exactly it was in there, but we were told at one point that Dale's first, like the first ever dream with the like the whisper and the my arms bend back and the let's rock and all that. I believe Dale found a like in the page in Laura's diary that was found in like arbitrary law, or like thereabouts, like when it was actually time to catch Leland. Um, there was a diary page found that said like I'm gonna die tonight, and also I had
Yeah.
that dream. He was like we had the same dream but at different points in time,
Oh
right?
yeah. Yeah. Oh my
So
god, right.
it's been planted already that these dreams and like the Black Lodge can like send these things, can connect people across time in some way.
Mm.
Well, and then like of course I think the other like part of this dream later on that's like super important is Annie showing up and being like, I've been with Dale and Laura, which also just like, God, it's so scary. I feel like for
Yeah.
you to be Laura and I mean, one, this woman with a bloodied face showing up in your bed and disappearing, and then you have a ring, that's scary. But for her to say, like, I've been with Dale and you don't know who she is, you don't know who Dale is, and she looks dead,
Right.
and she says that she's been with you, is like,
With you in the third person, right? Like
yeah,
with
yeah.
Laura. So this is ostensibly like not Laura, an alternate Laura, something. I don't know. Maybe not. But it's
No, I think she has been with Laura. Here's what I think.
mhm, mhm.
I think after the events of Beyond Life and Death, Dale, good Dale, is stuck in the lodge and can't leave. I think somehow Annie's soul is stuck there. Like I know that she
Mhm.
like we had that scene of like she's in the hospital, she's not dead. Um I won't say more about like I think that there's like confirmation on her status that it comes, I actually don't think in season 3. I think in like one of the like history of Twin Peaks books that Mark Frost wrote. But like
Wait,
my yeah.
is Annie not in season 3?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure. You're not sure.
I'm not sure.
Okay. I'm gonna be really sad if she's not in there.
Well, either way, my
Either way.
sense of things, just from where we are now, is like she showed up unconscious and bloodied, and we know that she was in the hospital. I don't feel like she came all the way back. It didn't seem like things went well for her.
Hmm.
So my sense is that either her soul is still there, or maybe she was also doppelgangered, or I don't really know. But like my sense of things is that the events of Beyond Life and Death led to some fragment or version of Annie, as well
Yeah.
as, let's say, Good Dale, to be trapped in the Black Lodge. I think the events of the end of this movie also trapped Laura's soul in the Black Lodge, as we see at the end with the angel and everything.
This basically makes sense to me. Okay.
So I
Yeah.
think Annie is telling Laura now, I've been with Dale and Laura in the Black Lodge because she's speaking from the future and is saying, write
Mhm.
a clue about how Good Dale is stuck in the lodge and can't get out. Which is like, honestly, as far as a movie that is really about just digging into Laura Palmer's experience, is like the most obvious sequel hook, right?
Sure. Yeah, it's a fun I don't even it's not a callback, it's almost like a call forward. I don't know.
Yeah. Like we know that there were pages from Laura's diary that were torn out that were never found. And
Yeah.
if we're to believe that Laura had followed this instruction, then there might be a diary page out there saying the Good Dale's in the lodge and can't leave. And like this is like, I think if you're someone
Man.
who is waiting 25 years and then they announce it season 3, you got to be like, fuck, they're finally going to find the diary page, you know?
Oh, that's killer. Man, I part of me does wish I had spent time with the original run of Twin Peaks like before 2017 because what could that have been like in that in between period? And also then you could like talk about the show with anyone without getting spoiled on season 3. I was literally just saying this before we started recording, but I can't talk about the show with anyone except you because
Yeah.
everyone else has watched the whole thing and doesn't know exactly what episode contains what spoiler. Anyway, I do really like the fact of the Chalfont family giving Laura this painting. Like their status to me is so ambiguous. The result
Mhm.
is her receiving this seemingly helpful question mark warning from Dale, but it's not, are they looking out for her? I don't know why they would be doing that.
I It's unclear. And I think this really comes down to like what is the ring and what does it do is unclear. And I think we just have to leave it that way. Like I think that like I've talked in our last session about like all the things that I think are, or at least some of the things that I think are like common interpretations, but I think the best I can surmise is that like somehow the ring, it seems to mark for death, and it seems to like somehow,
Mm-hmm.
or it like it is implicating your soul with the spirits in ways that are not entirely clear.
Okay.
I want to say, like, also on that note, I think it's really interesting because like this dream doesn't actually give her the ring. There's a moment where she thinks she's woken up and has the ring in her hand, and then she like wakes up for real and she doesn't have it. And I love how both of those are like equally terrifying moments.
That's true, eh?
Like if anything, the jump, like when you see like Annie's bloodied face next to her, it's like what the fuck? And then she like turns back and she isn't there, and then the like jump scare like discordant music plays. And I love that it's like the jump scare is on her not being there anymore.
It's weirder that Annie isn't there, yeah. It sort of has the same vibe as in that really early episode when Sarah Palmer looks at the stain on the carpet and screams.
Yeah.
Um, it's I feel like I
Or
use
is it Maddie who looks at the stain on the carpet?
oh, maybe it was, maybe it
But
was.
anyway.
My read on her like having the ring and then waking up and not actually having it is interesting because I feel like the hmm I'm just going to say this and I like 50-50 whether it makes sense. Because we don't see her losing the ring, we only see her having it in the dream and then not having it.
Mm.
Part of me was thinking like maybe she is still marked with it or carrying it in this like spirit realm way
Mm.
where like she doesn't know, you know? I
Yeah.
mean, she does certainly seem like she has been marked.
Yeah.
Other stuff in this dream, there is the who I've been calling the man from the other place, the guy who talks backwards,
Uh-huh.
who introduces himself as the arm. What's up with that? What?
Yeah, I guess it's funny. Earlier, this is we're really getting into so much of the like capital L lore, and I'm realizing how much I have like absorbed. So yeah, earlier I was like, yeah, we can just call him the arm. So I'm just gonna talk through things that are, again, I think like, well, actually, no, before I do, tell me what you think is up with him being called the arm.
Yeah. Oh shit. Okay, this could be something. I think of like the hands of a clock. The fact that
Uh-huh.
he talks backwards. You were just saying how like the Black Lodge seems to have some sort of non-linear
Hmm.
capacity. And so the fact that he's talking backwards could be like he could be involved in its sort of travel backwards in time.
For what it's worth, I think everyone in the Black Lodge was talking backwards except for Dale, basically.
That's true. I guess I think of him as the backwards guy because he's the one we meet who talks backwards, like
Yeah,
right
yeah,
at the start of the show.
yeah.
Regardless, I could see that being it. I could also see it being that I don't know, he seems like the one that we most often encounter in the Black Lodge. I could be wrong on that, but like he's a fixture in a way that like the grandmother and grandson have not been. So I
Hmm.
wonder if he is the arm as in like he is sort of the he acts on behalf of the Black Lodge. You know, he is like
Hmm.
their envoy.
I think that's definitely the vibe that he has for sure.
Yeah. Oh, well, here's one. He could have something to do with like reaching obviously again, all of these entities can like travel between the Black Lodge and polite society in some way, but like for instance, when Chester Desmond goes missing, it says "Let's Rock" on his windshield. I wonder if like he was
Mm.
nabbed by the arm,
Uh-huh.
whose catchphrase that is, you know? Could he be the one who like took uh Philip Jeffries as well?
The other thing about Philip Jeffries' disappearance was that it was potentially the Chalfont trailer, and it does feel in some way like the
Mhm.
fact that the Chalfonts like show Laura him holding up the ring, and it's really interesting because it really feels like she is watching it like a TV show. Like the arm holds the ring up to the camera, but it's not. it's just like holding it up, and then Laura sees it, and then we see Dale saying, "Laura, don't take it." Like, it really is, she's now watching
Hmm.
the TV show of Dale in the Black Lodge.
Love that.
I'll give you something else. At the end of the movie, when the Arm and Mike are like, "Give me all my Garmin Bogia," they speak as one, with the Arm reaching out his hand to Mike's amputated shoulder.
Whoa! Oh shit! Yeah. Wait. Okay. Oh shit! That's crazy. Took the arm clean off. Um, I don't know what to do with that at all.
Yeah. So this is another one of those ones that is like, is taken as broadly consensus. And I wanted you to say things first because, again, I don't want to just slip into consensus when the point of the things in these movies and how David Lynch does things is to make us think about and talk about all this. I think that
Yeah.
it is very plausible that he's like the manifestation of, like, Mike like cut his arm off to like symbolize that he's not killing anymore, right?
Sure. His arm is evil, and so this could be, yeah, this is the evil in Mike type beat. I guess that could kind of make sense.
And like, it's a very, yeah, like, it's very tempting as a read, right? And certainly it lines up with like Dale Doppelganger, all this. And I think it is interesting that, like, with that read, that scene at the end is Mike and the Arm speaking as one.
And the vibe I got was specifically that the arm was like sort of guiding Mike through those words.
Hmm.
The arm was like sort of seemed in control, I think because of how he was holding like Mike's shoulder and kind of facing
Hmm.
him. It felt like
Hmm.
he was being like guided or coached to me.
Which I think, if we're like, if our read on Mike is like he wants to not be a killer anymore, however, he does subsist on Carmen Bozia, uh like, as like, and which is kind of the vibe I get from these, like, the Chalfonts as well, is like, I'm kind of saying what I'm sure we said, like, we recorded a couple days ago, but like, that they're not total freako crazy mode like Bob, but they do still, like, just as a fact of life, they are require someone like Bob to be going and killing to be able to get the, like, their like spiritual pain sustenance. I like your read of like the Arm kind of leading it there, because it's like he is being driven by his evil self, because that Gurren Boshi is just so good.
You know what this reminds me of is, and this is surely the scene that I have talked about in the most episodes that is not like that is not within Twin Peaks or Mulholland Drive. The deer car accident scene in the Straight Story.
Oh, yeah.
It's I hate the cruelty, but I need to get to work, and getting to work requires the cruelty. And I may love the thing that I'm killing, but I still have to kill it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, sorry, some other notes, like when he also says he sounds like this. I think I said it real fast at one point, but that is the sound that we hear, like, vaguely through the electrical pole right before Philip Jeffries disappears, which does imply to me that he was there for that.
Mm,
That's, you know, he was
sure.
somehow responsible for the whisking away.
Okay, this is not necessarily mutually exclusive. I was thinking how that ooh thing is that feels to me like a like an anti-indigenous jeer, right? Like
Hmm.
I've seen like white people do that racistly to native
Hmm.
people before. So a part of me was like, "Oh man, is that what this is pulling from?" Because we know this show loves like gesturing at its very limited understanding of like
Mhm.
indigenous
Mhm.
spirituality, but there's no other signs of that really. So I don't know. It is also just like a quirky gesture, I guess, which the show loves.
There's, like, I think another set of reads that are, like, I'm doing so much of, like, Lily, now I can tell you about stuff that I've seen people say online, but
Yeah,
but is, like, the "Ooh, la, 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 la," is, like, an alternating, like, if you look at the sine wave of that, it is a, like, the sine wave thing, right? Also, in that same scene, there's the guy jumping up and down on the like, these spirits, and like the name of the town is Twin Peaks, and like it all, the idea of like either sound or electrical current or
It's
like
ups and downs.
motion that is like, yeah, like doing this and like creating Twin Peaks is like something that is
Sure.
coming back a lot in a bunch of different ways.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Honestly, the other thing I want to shout out about this scene is I just outside of all the like hashtag lore Bible stuff of it, I think the like just after the whole Annie bit of it, when she like goes to the door, and I noticed just like God, this shit is still so scary. Just shot of like the staircase and the ceiling fan, and then like
Oh my
she looks
god.
back at the painting, and the painting is now showing her in the doorframe and like in the same position as she is in her doorframe in her bedroom, and then cut to she's in the doorframe in the place is just like, oh,
Oh
it's
my
so
god.
good.
Incredible, incredible filmmaking. Also, would suggest that the inside of her house is the Black Lodge, which kind of tracks with, the whole like you're
Mm.
living with the demon from the Black Lodge.
And like we live inside a dream.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Anyway, killer fucking dream sequence.
Oh, just fantastic.
Yeah. And also, I also really love the roar of fire as the like grandson snaps his fingers, like as if the like fire light is what's allowing her to then see Dale. But just again, like fire being certainly in this movie, but like everywhere, like danger and violence and passion and all that, and like
And consumption.
yes, yeah, and I think the fact that the grandson summons it there is just another thing that complicates that the like non-Bob batch of spirits is what they want, and they're
Mm,
yeah.
man.
Because it feels like when they show up and they're like, this painting would look good on your wall, by the way, Bob is going for the diary. Like it feels like that's like protective. It feels like a warning. And it feels like honestly,
Yeah,
she
I
like
agree.
puts the painting up as if it's like a protective talisman, and then all that happens, and then she like takes it off the wall. She's like, man, these guys were not helping me.
It's interesting. I kind of felt discouraged when she took the painting down. I thought like, oh man, this is like a step away from her receiving more clues. I don't know. I kind of in the moment wondered like, is this going to be part of what seals her fate? Like not really heeding the signs. And I think probably not, but it is interesting that she interpreted it as distressing instead of like potentially helpful. Hmm.
Yeah. Um, so we get a little check-in with Leo and Shelley. I don't really have too much to say about this, but do you have anything to say about like my note is literally just I think Leo Johnson should kill himself or maybe become a Frankenstein after getting shot and then become Wyndham Earl's boy pet and then get killed question mark by spiders question mark. And then I miss Jacques Renault's crazy Quebecois drawl. That's
Oh
literally
yeah,
my only notes. Do you have things to say?
the phone call here is fun in the same way that like you know how Ben Horn would just be doing the most awful shit and then you'd be like, "Ha, he loves his sandwich brother." It's kind of that where Leo says to Jacques like, "Jacques, you crazy fucking Canadian."
Yeah.
And I have a moment of being endeared to Jacques.
Is that Bobby at that point? Because
Oh, yeah, probably. Yeah, no, so it's that Leo calls with Bobby and then Bobby calls Jacques. Yeah,
yeah.
because he's trying to score some coke. That's what it is.
Um, I also think that the fact that Leo, like this literally one snippet we get is he's making her wash the floors right after making Laura wash her hands feels very on purpose. Like this type of abuse is the same, right?
Mm. Yeah. Damn, I appreciate that connection. Totally.
Hell yeah. So, okay. We have to talk about the next big sequence. This is like honestly, I think my favorite part of the movie is this
Really?
the like Club Canada, Donna and Laura going out sequence.
Oh man. Yeah, no, their relationship here is so
Yeah.
fascinating. And I just had a stomachache the whole time for this whole sequence. I guess we
Yeah.
start like before they go out to the club.
Yeah.
Laura's like, it's really interesting, this scene. It has like the trappings of normal soapy Twin Peaks, but just the way they speak and sort of the
Mhm.
sequence of events actually kind of falls apart under scrutiny, the way that a dream would.
Mm.
So Laura is making herself a drink and then she puts it down somewhere. Donna comes in and asks why Laura hasn't made her a drink, but like only we saw Laura making herself a drink, and she's not
Mm-hmm.
close to it or drinking it.
Mm-hmm.
She's not doing anything with the drink cart. So it's like the camera is like the eye, you know? And then also the dialogue. I there might just be some like poetic subtextual stuff happening here. They're like speaking in euphemism. But so Donna asks, "Where are the cookies?" And then Laura says, "You mean Fred and Ginger?" Which already I don't know what that means. Where are the cookies?
Fred and Ginger to a stare. I think she's saying where the
Oh.
cookies is in like where are your parents, and she's like, oh, you mean Fred and Ginger Astaire because they're out dancing, which is why she goes, oh, dancing.
Oh. Oh my god. Yeah, no, this is I completely missed this because I feel like I am solid 50 years younger than David Lynch.
Yeah.
I I don't know Fred Astaire's wife's name, and I don't know that either of them are known for dancing. And then her line after that
That's.
is
I mean,
another.
I don't know very much about Fred and Ginger Astaire, but I know that they are. That is the thing that they're known for is being dance partners.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, well, I liked that I didn't understand that, but this next line I think is objectively a non sequitur, which is Donna says, "If I had a nickel for every cigarette your mom smoked, I'd be dead."
Yeah, which is great. I fucking love that line.
It's really good. I guess maybe there's something with like, you know, you're exchanging a nickel for a cigarette, but the nickels kill you the way a cigarette would kill you. They're like they're switching between them, but they're not off.
I don't think it's supposed to. I feel
No,
Lily.
I know, I know.
I think you're being too. I
I definitely am grasping at straws.
No, I think it's. I think this is just Donna trying to sound cool, and also just like it's
Mm.
a funny line. You have so many
It is a
nickels, you're
funny.
gonna die.
Okay, no, that's fair. The one thing this line does like concretely do is establish that Sarah smokes a lot, and we know
Yeah.
that like Laura smokes a ton because she is
Mm-hmm.
traumatized and miserable. So it does just solidify that link between
Yeah.
them and remind us like how Sarah's doing in all this,
Yeah.
which I appreciate. Sarah Palmer, I would watch your spin-off show where you we decided what she did after the show at some point. I wish I remembered, but I would watch your Tales from the Log, Sarah Palmer. Nothing but the best.
I'm not gonna say what happens, but here's for something I will say:
Yeah.
we will see some Sarah Palmer in season 3,
Oh
and
shit.
I can't fucking wait.
Oh, that's such good
That's all I'll
news.
say. That is all I will say.
Oh my god, thank you.
I've started screen share for a moment because I have one other goofy thing to say, and this is just to show you this static frame. Shed it to all these fucking foliage in the Palmer house that I don't think has ever been in here before.
I agree. Shout out to the weird like tree with a flat top.
Yeah, yeah. So that's all.
Another thing I notice here is just like the fact of next to the couch is the famous picture of Laura Palmer and
Mhm.
two overflowing ashtrays of cigarettes. You can just like that's a scene in itself. You can just picture Sarah Palmer sitting there
Yeah.
staring at the picture of her daughter and being too depressed to even like empty the ashtray, you know? Fuck, man.
Yeah. 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 Uh Real ones no. So we then we're kind of like the because the whole thing is like Donna's like, let me go out, and Laura's like, no, and then leaves. And then is like on the way to the roadhouse to be tricking for the night. And like I think we've been like honestly saying all this goofy stuff, but like I think what really gets me so much in all this, and like I'm gonna hold it. I'm gonna hold it for like the Roadhouse proper because that's where I think it like really hits
Hmm.
in for me. But what do you have to say about the little like log lady intro that we get?
I'm really not sure to be honest. No, I actually don't have any notes for this, which feels
Hmm.
strange. I would actually love to go back and watch. Would you be down?
Yes. It's
Awesome.
time for the log lady intro.
When this kind of fire starts, it is very hard to put out. The tender boughs of innocence burn first, and the wind rises, and then all goodness is in jeopardy.
Man.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
You know, before we even talk about the contents of the speech, I want to say it's a really gorgeous shot, and Laura
Yeah.
has this like really intense cast of red on her.
Yeah.
And then we walk in, and Julie Cruz is like doused in this really vibrant
Yeah.
blue, and that's a really
Yeah.
cool contrast. So the tender boughs of innocence burn first. That would be Laura, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like Leland has first gone for young women and his
Mm-hmm.
daughter, and is going to extend out and try to be a threat to, maybe the whole city or the whole universe.
I don't even necessarily read it that expansively.
Oh yeah?
I support it. I think really for me this just hits like as her coming up and like the log lady. To me, this is the bit that really cements for me like she is so thoroughly abandoned by the town.
Mm,
In that the log lady whose role has always been to like give a little mysterious but helpful clue that points the way to go to like succeed just like comes up to her and is like, you're gonna die, none of us can do anything, none of us are doing anything,
yeah.
all I can do is participate in the spectacle of like how doomed you are. And it's like heartbreaking to me.
That's a totally valid read. I do think mushroom. Oh my god. I think I want to present an alternate interpretation as much as like I agree that that's what's going on.
Yeah, go for it.
Um we know that Margaret, her husband died in a fire, right?
Hmm.
And I know just from like cultural osmosis that she has some somewhat important role to play in season 3. I kind of wonder if she's more of a Sarah Palmer here and just like someone who
Hmm.
recognizes and has been victimized by the scale of violence and feels helpless to do anything about it because she maybe kind of is or has been like, wounded into being in that position. Also, comparing her to someone like Harold could be useful because, like, Harold is listening and doesn't acknowledge, and
Hmm.
Margaret will at least acknowledge the peril that she's actually in, you know? Um,
I agree with that. I think that also like I think that part of the like tragedy and condemnation of this movie is that that also isn't enough. Like that is
Completely.
Dale or honestly like if we want to compare it to like that's Donna in the Roadhouse crying in Lonely Souls.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're not being as like rebuffing Laura, but it is still just like participating in the spectacle. And like honestly,
It's
this
true.
is
It's
like
true.
this is like just the thing that really gets me is like watching the first season of Twin Peaks, it's like Laura's death was a shock. No one saw it coming, right? And then you dig up more and more that's like, oh, there was stuff. And then you watch this and it's like everyone knew that she was in
It's
trouble and was
true. It's
fucked up
true.
and had just all collectively decided that she was disposable and not
She
worth
was just
saving
doomed.
and like or like not worth or unable to be saved. And like there's everything like I think I'm really I think part of why I want to hammer that home is because I think it's really such a big part of how this movie hits for me is
Mm-hmm.
outside of all of the like it's like I love all the stuff about its performance,
Yeah.
it's movies, it's like metafiction, all that, but I think it's also just like on its face it's just about how our society decides that certain young women are not like we see that they're in a situation that they're like in like torment and danger and say, oh well, we can't do anything about that or we don't care to. And like
Completely.
yeah. um
I think there's like a necropolitics angle here. Like Laura has
mm,
basically they've basically accepted her death ahead of time, which means that she's not like fully considered alive. She's sort of like
yeah.
already being thought of in terms of what will have happened to her.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It certainly like hits transgender wise obviously in this front, right?
Oh, in a huge way. And I think there are a lot of people who are considered like,
Yeah.
I think you could make this case about like homeless people
Yeah.
also,
Yeah. Yeah.
the way that they are just like considered, we don't want to do anything and therefore we're not going to consider them fully people and therefore we're not going to think about it too hard when they die young.
Yeah.
It's slightly tangential, but I find that I so often relate to characters like this who are like marked
Mhm.
for death by the narrative. There's one, oh man, one of my favorite characters of all time is she's in The Sopranos, and it's totally the same thing, where
Mm.
the signs are obvious to absolutely everyone.
God.
But then once she is killed off, people won't even acknowledge it because acknowledging it would mean acknowledging that they all let it happen, you know?
I was rewatching The Sopranos this past year because I was like, ah, fuck it. And then I got
Oh
to
yeah.
like partway through season 5 where that was like I knew that it was coming up soon, and I was just like,
Yeah.
I have to stop watching.
Oh
I was
man,
it
yeah.
was kind of just like, I'll have, oh, you
Yeah.
know what? Let's rewatch The Sopranos. And like, I was just like, I'm not ready for all that. It's hard. Yeah.
Oh man, I didn't know it was coming at all. I had just
Oh
finished The
God.
Sopranos like
Yeah.
within the past year, and I have probably never felt so fucked up. Like
Yeah.
oh Jesus Christ, yeah, devastating. I don't know. I think there's an essay in there. I might try to write it.
God, her and Laura would queen the fuck out though.
Oh yeah, yeah. I want the two of them as roomies in Seattle.
My like I had that one bit where I wrote the like out the Himemia and Laura Palmer
Yeah.
sonnet. I need to do one of those,
Yeah.
but for Laura and unnamed Sopranos
Redacted
character.
character.
Okay, so as for the actual, like, we get that, and like it's just like the way Laura kind of like tries to grasp at the log lady's hand as she walks away and like sees herself in the reflection of the window, it just fucking kills me. And then we're in the roadhouse, and like there's like an angel painting on the wall, which is kind of funny because definitely was not there in the shows at all. But very pointedly in frame a couple times here just to remind us of the angels theme. But like
Uh-huh.
this is, I think, where I need to like, I mean, uh, like we need to talk about the Laura and Donna of it all. Like I think,
Mm-hmm.
there's so much. I mean, just like Laura sitting down and like for this is even Laura and Donna. This isn't even, but like Laura sitting down and sobbing, and Jacques Renault and these guys being like, "Oh yeah, yeah, this sobbing teenage girl. I'll pay to fuck her. Thanks, buddy." Um,
Fucking
like,
Christ.
the way he's like, "You do go all the way, don't you, little girl?" She says, "Sooner or later." And like, as in dying, of course, you know. And then like, "What? You gonna do it to me?" Like, grabbing him
Oh
is
my
like
God.
so, and like
Oh.
it's just there's just like it's yeah, it's so much. And like so Donna's there, and she's like clearly has followed her there and is like coming up and being like, well, what if I do want to be part of it? And like Laura like just making it with the guy, being like, wow, that was great. Like, Donna, this isn't fun or glamorous, it's being miserable and fucking making it with some disgusting man that's gonna fuck you. Is this what you want, really? Go the fuck home. But it's also like a dare, like it is a challenge, it is a
Yes,
bit of like an
completely.
invitation. And like I think what kills me is like Laura's desires are so contradictory, right? Like she desperately wants to be able to have Donna be a part of her life in this way. Like the fact that Donna
Mm.
has never gone trekking with her, the fact that Donna doesn't know what it's like here is why she shows up and can only be like, are you my best friend? And can't tell her about being raped.
Shit.
So like, you know, and like, but also she like wants to protect Donna. She's like, you like, she like, if you were a part of this part of my life, I could tell you these things, but also I can't let you be a part of my life like that because I need to protect you from it. But also like this resentment of like, how dare you think you could be able to do what I do? This would fucking like, you're not ready. This will fucking kill you, Donna.
This is
Like
not what you
stop.
think it is. It's
I'm
not like sexy and cool. I'm doing it because I'm spinning the fuck out.
well, and it's like I desperately want you to be able to be here with me, and I'm
Mm.
making my life, I'm like holding back from being able to share that with you for your sake. So how dare you tell me that you do
Yeah.
actually want to be here when I'm restricting myself from the ability to really get to know you, because or like really have
Mm.
you as like really have for you to know me, to prevent you from having to be exposed to this. And then you just want to walk in and get exposed anyway, like fuck you, you know?
It's
But like
very
also is just
true.
like so alone and just like so badly craves to have someone with her who like understands her and like to not have to hide these things. It truly, it makes me want to lie down and have a truck run over my head.
Oh, bestie. Yeah. I wondered in this scene or in this whole sequence, like whether part of why Laura would want to protect Donna is because she sees a purity in Donna that sort of, or an innocence, I guess, that sort of gives her hope or is sort of like a refuge. Like, in a way,
Yeah.
being around someone who totally doesn't get it, that means that there's like,
Yeah.
there's a place in the world where these tendrils don't reach, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And so, yeah. Anyway, it just gets worse from here.
So yeah, they go to Canada. And you can tell it's Canada because even the Gunji club is like a log cabin bar.
It's, and the lighting is red and white.
Yeah. Okay, there's gonna be a lot more serious things to talk about here, but also I'm like, when they walk in, um, I don't know who says it, but someone's like, "Don't expect turkey dog here." Is that a reference to the turkey gobble thing, or is this like, what the fuck is up with that? Do you have any idea what's up with that?
Literally not a clue at all. No, no, nothing. I guess there's hunting in Canada. A dog could help you hunt turkey, question mark. I don't know if that's true.
No, what they mean turkey dog like a hot dog.
That what? Why would they mean hot dog?
But because that's what a turkey dog is a hot dog,
I've
but with turkey meat.
never heard of that in my life. Are you fucking with me?
I'm not trying to. What? Hold on.
I've never heard of a turkey dog. Google search turkey dog. It's these little. Okay, can dogs eat turkey? A dog with a turkey on its head.
Okay, well, hot dogs versus turkey dogs. What's the difference, and which is better? This is a real bullshit fucking AI
Chat GPT generated.
Yeah.
Dogs can eat turkey, so jot that down. There are double turkey chili dogs, which have ground turkey on them, but oh, they do call for turkey hot dogs. But this is also the website of the National Turkey Federation, eatturkey.org.
Oh.
So I don't know how readily findable they are.
Sorry, I also started looking up the one of the other things, which is so there's a couple shots in between all this of Jacques Renault saying what I can only describe as like David Lynch's best guess at Quebecois things, where he's like, "I am the Great Went," which just sounds like some, like, you're like, yeah, I bet you there's some like Quebecois like folk mythology about the Great Went. Apparently the Great Went is also a festival series by the American jam band Fish, which
What?
yeah.
What, did Fish exist in 1992? Probably.
I think the movie came out in 95, but however, the first Great Went was in 96, so it's definitely not where they got the name. But sorry, I'm just seeing okay, hold on.
I'm holding.
I'm on fish.net. I don't know if this is run by the band Fish or it's just by Fish fans. The most common misunderstanding of the Great Went is a reference to the dancing/party scene of Fire Walk With Me, but the mention of the Great Went in this scene is itself a reference to another scene. Empty Wentz is a restaurant critic.
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
But
there's no way that has anything to do with it.
way that either
No way.
either Jacques Renault or David Lynch or like the writers are like, yeah, we're referencing empty Wentz in this scene. I'm sorry, fish.net, do not pass go.
Not a chance. Not a chance.
But I do also love his "I'm as blank as a fart." Really sounds like a direct translated from Quebecois French, like, yeah, I'm as blank as a fart. It sounds like it would be a thing, you know?
This I am not Jacques, I am the Great Went thing honestly really startled me at first. I feel like I'm always having completely unintended reactions to this show and movie. But because I thought of the man from another place saying, "I am the arm." I thought this was him introducing himself or like outing himself as some sort of demonic figure called the Great Went. And then it turns out to just be a little joke.
I mean, I think it's also doing that, to be fair. I think that it is like certainly evoking that on purpose.
I guess and Laura also takes on a little nickname. She says like, "And I am the muffin."
Apparently that is a reference to a scene in the deleted scenes, which I still have never seen the missing pieces, but I guess when you watch the missing pieces, there's a scene with Laura and Donna where they talk about muffins, and that will make more sense.
Okay. subscribe at tstv.show to hear us talk about that
Yeah.
eventually. But I do really like them taking on like a nightlife pseudonym
Mm.
while all this, at the place where all this violence is going to happen.
Yeah. I think there's like I guess like there. At first, I'll just kind of like shout out some other little details before we get to like the really key like Laura Donna bit of this whole sequence
Sure, sure.
is like um first of all, I did you catch like when she's with Renette and she's like beckoning the guy under the table to like eat her out, she does the like point and snap down, which is what she does in fucking the Black Lodge.
Yeah. Yeah. Whoa.
Yeah.
This is a dense movie, man. No
Yeah.
wonder we're going to take 6 hours to talk about it.
No, I just like saw that motion and I was like, holy shit. And like this the light flashing and there's like electric sounds like as she's like about to kind of like be startled awake and realize about Donna is like the same as above the convenience store.
Mm. Wow.
Yeah. No, and like there's so much stuff there. And then uh yeah, just them talking about like Teresa, the whole bit with like just like I think just a great like horrible like exchange is Jacques Renault coming up and being like, "Ma, my high school sandwich," and then they're just like,
Oh.
I think it's like Renette who's like, "She's been dead a year." Is like Christ, you know?
Oh, it's so good. I think this being the reveal that they knew
Yeah,
Teresa also, right?
yeah, yeah.
That was a crazy moment for me. And they say she was going to get rich, she was blackmailing somebody
Hmm.
who I assume she was blackmailing Leland,
Yeah,
right? Is the
yeah,
idea?
definitely, absolutely. Yeah,
Really fucked up, really also like economical storytelling. We don't
yeah,
I feel like with this I basically understand the sequence of events there.
yeah,
I gotta say, in the scene, man, I'm really troubled by how many people are canonically high school students and we're seeing like dance topless. I know that all of these characters are technically 18, and I know that the actors were adults, but it really, I'm not gonna say takes me out of it, but it's really troubling.
they really feel like kids, you know?
That's it. I think at first I was like a little distracted by Donna being portrayed by a different actress,
Hmm.
but this actress, I wish I knew her name. She looks so young, which does a lot here. I think like she
Yeah,
really unmistakably has a like high school student way about her.
yeah. It's Moira Kelly. And
Moira
I think
Kelly.
we talked at one of the previous episodes about like that and how it's pretty substantively because Lara Flynn Boyle either was filming Wayne's World or didn't really want to work on it because having recently broken up with Kyle MacLachlan. This is what I said then, and like it does hit the like Donna is literally a different person after this movie, you know?
Mmm.
Like the before and after like transforms her, I think really hits for me.
Sure.
Um
Yeah.
and just like I think the thing that like really gets me, and this was true in the previous scene too, where like it's obvious that again, Laura has been sobbing, they come out, they make out rather, and then it's like Donna makes out with him too, clearly as a like she's very troubled and is doing it just for Laura, and the other guy's just like, haha, nice. Yeah,
Oh.
that's sexy, baby. Like this whole thing is like these women are like, she's been dead a year. I'm a child. I don't and all of the men in this like all these scenes are just like literally don't give a shit and like don't hear us like
Mm-hmm.
are only there to exploit them.
Yes.
Like
God, fuck.
it's so and so which is like the big thing is that one of them slips a roofie into Donna's drink. And I don't know about you, but I 100% think that Laura sees him do it.
Oh, wow. Okay, can I tell you my read of this?
Yeah.
I thought because everyone is passing around beers, like there's more than one beer per person in this circle of
Yeah.
people. I thought that he was spiking his own drink and then passing it around for people to share.
No, I think the passing it around is like a like way to do sleight of hand, basically.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because I think it's like they're all fucked up, but Donna is a lot more clearly like out of it and doesn't remember anything the next day, you know?
Mm. You know, I appreciate this read because I was kind of thinking that they all just did this drug on purpose, like very pointedly by having it in a drink, which is not like normal. And
No, I mean here, look,
no, I know, I
I
agree. Like you're definitely right. I'm just
oh no, I just want you to see like I have the screen share here because like I think it's really worth like just look. So he's emptying in it, and then she's looking right at him, and then he gives it back to Donna. And all the other times it's been going around like
oh my
clockwise, but
God.
now he roofies, and Donna's watching or Laura's watching the whole time
Whoa.
and is like chug a lug, Donna.
Oh my God.
I
Wow.
think
That I can't believe I missed this.
it's definitely played like it's not made super clear.
It's in the eye contact.
I think that's like really important because like one,
Hmm.
definitely this guy is maliciously roofying Donna. And I
Okay.
definitely don't think it's just this is the party drugs they're all doing. Like
No,
the way
no,
they're
now that I
passing it
see it
around and
again.
that's the only time he passes it the other way. And
Mm.
two, I think it this specifically is a huge part to me of what I'm like I need to get my head shot with a gun and crushed
Fuck.
is
Oh my
like I
God.
because Laura sees it happen and I'm like is like chug a lug Donna. Like she's like, fine. You want to fucking be here? You want to come? This is what happens. You get roofied and raped. This is my life. You're happy you fucking wanted to see what was under the rock and lifted it up, and now it's all the fucking worms are squirming. Like, this is what you fucking get. And like it's so brutal and like is like the only way that she feels it she can in a way Donna's like I want to live your life and I want to be able to see what you're doing and she's like this is the only way to you know
To experience the sexual violence. I think there's a parallel here between what she does on the couch with Harold, where, like, in order
Mhm.
to communicate the pain that she's feeling, she has to sort of scream and briefly embodies
Mhm.
Bob, or like Bob gains some ground over her. This is her in order to make herself understood. She sort of partakes in the evil, right?
Yeah.
This is definitely the worst thing she does in the movie, I would say.
Mhm. God, it makes me think also just about like Donna's story about like skinny dipping with the boys that she tells Harold at one point. It's just
Oh, I
like
forgot about that. Yeah.
and like Donna looks so worried for Laura the whole time and then like when they get like then when she's like fucked up she like grabs Laura's sweater like protectively, right? It's almost a like, oh no, Laura's sweater is on the floor. And then like just like the
Oh.
way like Laura then like leaves that headspace, when Renette is like, oh my god, is that Donna Hayward? And it just like hits her all at once, like, oh my god, Donna's getting raped. She got roofied and is going to be assaulted right now. And like the that's when she gets the like blue light flashing on her and it's like the blue static effect that we got earlier and just like the screaming like no and like the
It's
don't
really, oh my God.
the don't wear my stuff like is makes me it's oh it really fucks me up the
Oh,
like I know it's like in the next scene she says it more clearly but it's like the only way she can say like I don't want you to be raped like I is like don't wear
don't
my
wear my
stuff, Donna,
stuff.
like, not you, it's
Oh my
ugh.
God. It's like, I mean, Donna doesn't really seem to understand what's happening in this moment.
No, I
Like,
mean, she's roofied, like
yeah, yeah. But she can understand that she was wearing Laura's stuff or whatever. Oh, man. Oh, it's really rough.
just when they're back at the house the next morning, she's like, "How did I get in my bed?" And Laura's like, "Life is full of mysteries, Donna," and, like, the contempt is back of, like, "So I did stop you from, like, being fully raped, and you don't remember any of it, and you're still never gonna know what it's like for me."
Oh my God, I didn't even consider
You
that.
know? Like,
Oh,
she's still
man.
so alone, and just "I don't want you to wear my stuff," and her just saying back, like, "I do love you, Laura." like, I love you, Donna, but I don't want you to be like me, is like, oh, it's so fucking rough.
Oh my God. There's something to be said about how the only people we know to be looking out for women in any way are, I would say, Teresa. Like, if Teresa was trying to investigate Leland Palmer,
Yeah,
um, and Laura, two
yeah,
sex workers and murder victims,
yeah, yeah,
like no one else is looking out, you know?
yeah. And then that scene has like the fucking brutal ending of why do you do it? And then Leland walks in.
Ooh, there's your answer. Oh my God. And
Yeah,
he gets like a flashback here, right?
yeah,
Leland walks in, looks at these two like sort of holding each other, and remembers Ronette and Laura on a motel room bed doing the same
yeah,
thing. I think it was
yeah,
a motel room bed.
yeah.
What the fuck, man? What the fuck?
Yeah. Because that segues into like the whole car scene, which is like the like Leland, we're getting Leland's flashbacks to like fully clarify that uh he killed, like how and why he killed Teresa Banks. We need to talk about the Philip Gerard coming up as they're driving.
Yes.
How did this land for you?
Really intensely, obviously. I thought, you know how David Lynch's worlds are just full of like quirky characters on their own little trajectories. It never occurred to me that this would be Philip Gerard until he was right there. I thought it was just some strange driver,
Mm-hmm.
because the world is wrong in that way. But man, it's one of those things where on second watch, I really saw, oh, there are some really clear clues for Laura here. But if I was only experiencing it once, like Laura Palmer, it
Mm-hmm.
would all seem very abstract, I think, and like strange.
Mm-hmm.
The look on her face when it was open, there was a stillness like the Formica tabletop. I love. Like he is analyzing Laura's
Mm.
dream. And that feels like a very good way to say like trust me.
I don't think it's Laura's dream. I think that's the murder of Teresa Banks.
Dude, I was thinking that was Mrs. Chalfonts' face when like the door was open. The stillness on her face as she was like beckoning
Oh.
Laura in the dream.
I'm gonna I'm definitely not gonna play the audio for this because it's insane. I'm gonna
Yeah.
read the full thing he says here. He
Yeah,
pulls
please.
up to Leland. And importantly, Laura's like, Dad, is the engine on fire? Something is burning. Scorched engine oil smell. Um he pulls up. He says, You stole the corn. I had it canned above the store. And missed the look on her face when it was opened. There was a closeness or a stillness like the Formica tabletop. The thread will be torn, Mr. Palmer. It's him, it's your father. My read on this is the look on her face when it was opened, there was a stillness, is we killed Teresa Banks. And either she was opened to create the Garmin Bogier, or like he says, he had the corn canned above the store. So
Right.
like in there above the convenience store space, he had this Garmin Bogier somehow stored, and that there was a look on either Teresa Banks. I really read it as like the her as Teresa Banks in
That
light
does make
of
sense.
like this being the scene where we get all the Teresa Banks flashbacks.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, that does make
but
sense.
I think to me, at the very least, the when it was opened has to be the creamed corn, like Garmin Boscia to me.
Sure, sure.
And like stillness of like she is dead now, you know?
Hmm. Okay, well, I guess if this is true and he actually was sending a pretty single and straightforward message, maybe I just still am not getting it, and therefore the only way it really hit me was like emotively, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
Mm-hmm.
I do really like when Leland like he's a in a way like a criminal mastermind as much as all of this was obvious. He pulls into a garage and seems to be doing from my interpretation like some crazy stuff with his car engine, maybe to
Mm-hmm.
explain the engine smell that is happening
Yeah, yeah,
because Laura had been like it smells like something's burning, right?
yeah. I know my notes on here. One of it was just like the way that Mike is like swerving is like Leland in Drive with a Dead Girl. And then I was just like, Christ, that's kind of what's going on here too.
That's definitely what came to mind when I saw them like in the
Yeah.
convertible. That's a car we only see a few times.
Yeah. And you know, she's the dead girl, she just isn't yet. But I think like
Ooh.
well, exactly. And the thing that this makes me think is like, because he says like you stole all the corn, I think my read, and this is like how we can best inform our understanding of Mike's motivations and these other spirits' motivations, is that somehow in the murder of Teresa Banks, Bob like hogged the Garmonbozia and didn't let
Mm.
the other spirits get any. And
Oh, yeah, that would explain like the strange relations here.
yeah, and I think the way that that reframes Mike's motivations is really interesting because like this really
Hmm.
frames him here as like again, he it doesn't feel like he has renounced killing. It feels like he's like I want to get my fucking pain and sorrow back that I'm owed, that Bob stole from
Sure.
me. And
And giving Laura clues almost out of spite, right? Like out of spite for Leland slash Bob.
yeah, like spite or like somehow the ring will mean that it gets to him, like the Garmonbozia will get to him, which is what happens at the end. It's
It's true. It's true. Damn. Yeah. Wow. He's
um
like the shadow villain.
and like honestly, even just like but even just outside of that, I really love it just
Hmm.
as a like just completely overwhelming like dread prophecy scene. I love to have a guy just come up and like there's a dog barking, the score is crazy,
It's
both cars are
insane.
making every sound possible, and he's like, "It's your father!" And just like the thread will be torn is like so like what a great fucking sentence, you know?
The thread will be torn feels like a line that has like always existed. Like I've definitely heard this referenced
Yeah.
many times. So the fact of Philip Gerard being in a camper van had me thinking like,
Mm.
oh, well he was definitely like parked at Fat Trout Trailer Park a year ago, and I figured that was because he was like on Bob's trail, you know, like
Mhm.
looking out and sort of maybe trying to prevent these murders. As he is at the end of the movie, seemingly like running around trying to find and save Laura.
But like but also not really.
At first blush, that is.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that
Yeah.
that's not what's happening. It just seems like it's what's happening. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
the notion of them having a falling out because of Teresa would make me think actually that Philip Gerard was there as part of the danger.
I mean, I think definitely like we know that his thing was like I used to kill with him.
Yeah, I guess I just wasn't sure when that ended.
Yeah. Well, I think like the other big thing in this scene is the like full Teresa Banks flashback.
Yeah, yeah, this is a good scene. There's that scary moment, I think, where Leland covers Teresa's eyes and says, "Who am I?" And she says,
Ugh.
"I don't know."
Yeah.
I don't know even his intention with that, other than maybe like,
Wait. Fuck.
what's up?
I just remembered something I was going to say earlier at Club Canada. I knew I had forgotten some piece of bullshit to say. Which
Go
is
for
that
it.
and this maybe somewhat applies to also this flashback frankly because it's this seeing that there was like a threesome set up for I guess even because it was going to be like Teresa, Ronette, Laura and Leland.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's how you get that 4 yes votes, 5 no votes for bisexual cheating content in there.
That's where it comes in. Yeah, okay, wait, we should give people context on this.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was just that Lily had looked up the "Does the dog die?" and for the question, "Is there bisexual cheating?" There were 4 yes votes and 5 no votes.
It was a split decision.
I gotta say, those people yes voting are crazy. If your takeaway from Laura Palmer, who is like dating several boys because they're all exploiting, like in some way, they are all exploiting her and projecting a vision onto her, and also is like a sex worker, like doing like duos and whatever. And then her dad realizes that it's her and then kills the girl who set it up. And your takeaway from that is like, I need to flag this as problematic trope bisexual cheating. What are you
Bisexual.
doing?
Oh, is it a trope because it's biphobic? Or because I was wondering if that was like listed as a content warning because people had been cheated on
Cheated
by
on bisexually.
bisexuals.
So that was also my first thought.
Ah.
And this is funny because this is how I can tell you haven't checked our the show Blue Sky because I literally replied that to you posting it because I was like at first I was like this is for people who got bisexually cheated on and don't want to relive that and then I was like it's probably there to flag when there's the problematic bisexual trope. Anyway,
Oh, yeah. Yep.
not what this scene is about. But so you were saying things about his like who am I?
So with the whole like covering Teresa's eyes and going, "Who am I?" I wonder if that is that he suspected her of being on to him in some way. When he says to her, "You look just like my Laura," I wonder if Teresa is then thinking like, "Oh, I know a Laura," right?
I
Um,
Yeah.
it really there's like an undercurrent of Teresa looking out for Laura here that I think like
Yeah.
it's you
Yeah.
have to look for it, but it's pretty touching.
Well, and I think that like it is the like who do you see me as, like which comes back a lot between Leland Bob and Laura, but like I think it's like what's also so potent to me
Hmm.
about this whole bit is like this is Leland. Like everything with the wash your hands and everything. I think the
Yeah.
the flashback of Leland going and then realizing that it's Laura and then he runs off and he's like, I chickened out.
Yes, no, completely. He's
Like that's not Bob.
no, not at
And
all.
like and I think that like says so much about like Hit then killing her is like him willing to be like, okay, I like hiring teenage sex workers. I don't want to be blackmailed for it or for my daughter to like people to find out about this.
Mm, yeah.
And it's convenient that I am the host to a fucking killer spirit that will like make it
It's
easier to kill her.
convenient.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
It is as cynical as that. Yeah, no, he kills these people for his benefit. Like
Yeah.
not only Garmin Boja wise, but like pragmatically and because it's like a it just makes sense for him to.
Yeah.
I think also Leland like approaching the motel room and seeing Laura explains in the hand washing scene, also when he is fully Leland, why he like grabs Laura's necklace and says, "Did your lover buy this for you?"
Mm.
Like he's like slut shaming her, right?
Yeah, no,
I
absolutely.
I imagine that is because he knows and is disgusted that she is like a sex worker.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And honestly, even just like the sequence then when she's like thinking about having, Mike screaming, "It's your father." And she's like, "Dad, were you home last week?" And he's like, "No." And she's like, "I thought I saw you." And he's like, "Oh, yes, I was actually." And
Ah.
I think like, he's like, "I didn't see you." And she's like, I was just down the street." And like I'm saying that kind of joking wise, but like her performance as like losing her fucking mind about this is really, really good. Because we know that Bob saw her. Whether or not Leland in that moment also saw her, I would be inclined to believe yes. But also just like the way she's like completely I was just down the street is not delivered believably. It's delivered like I know this is a lie, you know this is a lie. You want us to not acknowledge this openly and it's just going to stay there. Like,
And he smiles after
yes.
Laura says this,
eh,
as if like
Yeah.
I win. It's a little conquest, right? It's so
Yes.
fucked up.
Yes, 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 exactly.
And it's also very in line with his like last line in the movie, which is, "I always thought you
Christ.
knew it was me."
Yeah.
Like from Leland's point of view, they have been sustaining this lie in every interaction they've had over the past 6 years.
Yeah. And I think like the willful self-deception of that again speaks to the idea of Leland being innocent and not knowing is like beyond dead in the water.
Yes. Oh,
Like I think
completely. Oh my God.
like Lily, think about this movie and all of this and then Leland being like, "I never knew," and Dale Cooper being like, "It's
Into the
okay,
light.
go to heaven." And
Oh,
again,
go to
when that
heaven.
happened and he was like, "Laura's there," and we see Laura at the end of this movie in the fucking Black Lodge and I'm like, "Wow, you're going to where Laura is, huh?" Like
Fuck.
Dale
Oh
Cooper
no.
is not
No.
shit. Dale Cooper is not
No.
shit. Ugh.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
If you think about it, Dale is a really accurate portrayal of uh policing in that like even if they learn all this stuff, it does nothing to
Yes,
reduce
yes.
violence.
Well,
It does,
no,
like
yeah, no, and I think like again, outside of all of the cool metaphor stuff about this movie, I think it's like so like yes, and all of the characters from Twin Peaks that like do things to like quote unquote help people and solve mysteries are not present in this movie at all because they can't. I would have gave that whole spiel, but yeah.
hmm.
Okay. So we this is like the other bit of the flashback here is like him actually killing Teresa Banks and smashing the TV and like Laura being like the same ring. Which by the way, I've thought this every time the ring has come up, but I've never said until now, but it does have the same marking on it as in the cave.
That's what it was. I was trying to place it, dude. I was
Yeah.
like, it's not the tattoo on Garland Briggs. Shit. Yeah, it's the cave. Okay. And I'm trying to remember right now, like, what is the significance of that thing in the cave, right? I know they're petroglyphs.
I'm not sure we ever really know, to be honest.
It seems like Wyndham Earl finding it lends him some power ability, but
Yeah, didn't it did some fucking like hidden temple shit. Like it had a like contraption in it.
it did have a contraption in it.
It's
Beyond that, I
frankly
don't really remember.
honestly same. That's about as far as I can
Hmm.
yeah.
Oh yeah, so when we briefly cut back to Leland and Laura in the car, Leland also says he just like deepens the lie, right? He goes like, when a man comes out of the blue
Mhm.
like that, what is the world coming to? And I really like him trying to externalize this thing to like he wants this to be viewed through the general lens of like fear of crime, fear of society.
Yeah.
Very in line with the whole like externalizing his abuses to Bob and swearing that he did not know. No, the danger is the stranger, you know?
Mhm.
Um
Mhm.
the danger is all around us. It's not with you at home.
Also something fun in terms of like out of the blue rose. Yeah, it's a little
Yeah.
something.
Definitely. Also, the movie emerges out of the blue
Oh
of
my
the
god, it's
static.
true. Yeah. Okay, so
Wow.
Bobby drug scene. I really like this one. I think like
Me too.
before we get into the specifics of this, I just want to say, Lily, remember in like the second episode of Twin Peaks or whatever when
Mhm.
James was like, "Yeah, she was saying something about Bobby killed a guy," and I was like, "Lily, what do you think is up with that? Did Bobby kill a guy?" And you're like, "No, it must be like Bob, like the spirit." But like, I think this recontextualizes Bobby's arc in the whole show so much. Like his outburst at the
Ah.
funeral, his like him like threatening like in the first episode when he's like, "I'm gonna kill you, James, for sleeping with my girlfriend." We were like, okay, whatever, man. But like he just killed, and like the how much he is like so like brought to tears by talking about Laura with Jacoby, how he is brought to
It's
tears by his dad
true.
saying that he believes that he could have a good future, you know? Like I
Oh,
was
yeah.
saying at that time, like I was thinking of this when I kept being like, Bobby has seen
Mm.
his girlfriend die, and like I kept being like, maybe killed a guy. I don't know, but like I think it
I
makes
completely forgot about that, by the way.
about
About Bobby having maybe killed a guy. Like, I think I summarily dismissed that.
yeah, no, yeah, and I love that you did because I got to be like, you just fucking wait, girl. But I think everyone
Ah.
did, like me too, the first time because they kind of like never comes back
Hmm.
to it, and then Twin Peaks is throwing like, especially season one, it's throwing like 25 other soap opera plot lines at you every episode, and so you just like you forget about it entirely. But I think it like makes such a difference to everything in Twin Peaks, like the show that's happening in like the course of 2 weeks, that like he just shot a guy and then Laura died and he like has not been able to process that at all.
Big couple weeks for Bobby.
Yeah. Yeah.
I really want to go back and watch the show with this in mind now.
Now
I
you need to
do
start a podcast getting someone else to watch it.
I do wonder how Bobby processed this shooting that he did. I mean, because I really do believe that he's traumatized by doing this.
Yeah,
Like
no,
he's totally
absolutely.
shaken.
Yeah.
He only realizes what he's done after the fact, right?
Yeah.
I think he's hmm. I was gonna say that he's like trying to protect himself and Laura in this moment, but I actually think it's pure reflex. Okay, so what they're doing here, right? They're walking through the forest, they're expecting this like drug handoff, and they're drinking, they're drunk. I love
They're definitely on coke as well, for sure.
Oh, sure. Okay, yeah. Laura just like can't stop laughing, right? I really like you know what it reminds me of is Audrey, who's not in this movie. I just realized
Oh,
how
yeah.
Audrey sort of floats above the violence and the lies and the scandals and just like she has like this detached perspective of almost thinking all of it is funny because she sees the artifice. I
Mhm.
think Laura throughout this scene, including after the shooting, can't stop laughing because she's like, all of this is just, it's just absurd to her, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So they're like sitting waiting for the drug deal, and it's like really cute.
It's really
It's
cute. It fucks me up. But her like,
uh,
hey Bobby, watch as she does her little dance. And it's like, I found a
yeah,
pine cone. I found some
Bobby, I found
dirt.
some dirt. It's
Uh
like
and
I
it's
found some
such a
dirt is
like
really
no, and
funny.
like obviously she's like on coke, but it is also like, she could have a silly girl life if it wasn't for everything
Yeah.
else, you know?
Oh my goodness. It's one of so few moments of pleasure she has in this
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
Um and then out comes the who I have called the gay guy cop because of his mustache in my notes.
It's so funny that this is my fourth time watching this movie, and literally now is the first time that I'm like, "Oh, that's who that is." I literally was just like, "Oh, he's like a Mountie or something."
He's a Mountie or something. But I was reading some like fan theorizing about why after he shot Laura says like you killed Mike. And it seemed like half the people in the comments also thought that was Mike, and then he was
Wait,
just
like,
retconned into not having died.
wait,
Like Mike
Mike,
is in his Mike the Snake. People
what the
just people
fuck?
just did not recognize that this was the
Okay,
cop.
that's I'm not that bad.
No, that's a bridge too far.
But I will say, I do think it is a really great moment of the like knife's edge comedy and pathos of like her being like, "You shot Mike," and he's like, "This isn't fucking Mike," and then like pause, and he's like, "Is this Mike?" And it is funny because he's fucked up, but it's also like, oh, he's fucked up, and like it's not just the
He's
drugs.
in shock.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
totally. Yeah. As they're like and like the futile attempt to like bury him by just like tossing dirt on him is like so
Oh my
both
god.
funny and miserable, you know?
Yes. Fuck, man. You were often telling me in the Twin Peaks and broader David Lynch like criminal conspiracies, don't worry about it too much. Don't try to figure out the logic. But I do have to wonder why you would show up to a drug deal with a pound of coke and then try to shoot the people you're trying to sell the coke to. Like,
Oh, so that
why?
you can take their money that they brought and keep your pound
Sure,
of
that's.
coke.
I will say at that point, why pull out the coke, right? Like it's this.
I
It's
think it
also.
like disarms them, you know?
Oh yeah, yeah, could
I
be.
mean, honestly, my questions on this are not about like how well or poorly he set up his coke shooting. I'm more like, did Jacques Renault like was Jacques Renault like, yeah, you can kill those kids? Or was that just this guy just doing that? Like I could see it either
Uh-huh.
way, you know?
I mean, Jacques seems completely indifferent to human life, you
Oh,
know?
no, totally. Yeah.
If I was the mustachioed gay guy cop, who yes, is gay, and Jacques Renault had set this up for me, and then those two people turned up dead, Jacques Renault, I would know for a fact who did it. Like, there's no
Mhm.
ambiguity there. I'm just wondering if that's not a scenario that is like productive to imagine. It's just like a really specific guy to show up and try to do this.
I mean, I think like to me the reason why I'm interested in asking that is not like and what was he thinking? What was his plan for after? But
Uh-huh.
more just like this is again just a world in which Laura is seen as completely disposable by everyone, especially Jacques
Yeah,
Renault, like in
yes.
this in
Hmm.
really intense way. I honestly, you know what I want to shout out is the little scenes or the little shots of the flashlight over the tree is like an eye. It's like we saw with Wyndham Earl and Beyond Life and Death.
Oh, it's
Um,
so good.
and honestly, this feels like this is the Bobby version of everything we just had with Laura and Donna. This is her like the thing I
Uh-huh.
had written is like she turns into laughing about it because it's the only way to like for her to like process it, and it is also just like within the realm of the normal for her. But it's like you laugh about it in the same way that like playing up being the girl who loves to party and fuck is the only way to like process sexual assault, you know? But like this is
Yes,
like in the same
totally.
way that like everything at the club was like Donna having a peek into her world and like not being able to handle it. This is the same thing for Bobby, I think. And it's like, girl, you're not bad. You're not a
Mm.
badass, you know?
No, it's true. He's
Like, I think her being like, ha ha ha, you killed Mike is this coming from the same place as Chug-a-Lug Donna, you know?
like sort of fucking with him a little bit.
Yeah, and
Like
like, fuck you. You think you could like you have literally no idea. Like, fuck you, you know?
you're so out of control. Like this is so outside your control that you might as well have killed Mike. Like that's just as likely.
Yeah,
Sort
yeah,
of.
yeah.
Um I guess the alternate no, okay, I was gonna say the alternate read is she's talking about the other Mike. But she actually met the other Mike like
Yeah,
earlier
she
this day
doesn't
and did not
know. She
recognize him,
doesn't know.
so
Yeah. Um,
no, I guess not.
this is kind of bookended by a little scene of like James coming by the Palmer house, and honestly, the things I just want to say here because he's like, "You're on something again," and it's so like, girl, she's been on coke the whole time. You're a fucking idiot, James. You don't like you don't know her. You're like, wow, now you know she's on something again. You literally are like no shit. It's like James, you're sweet. You don't know anything, you know.
And
And
also like her doing coke is like the 20th most concerning thing about all
yes,
this.
yes, exactly. And then just like Leland really pointedly comes out onto the porch to like get James to drive away. And it's
Oh
like
yeah.
every time Laura is even in these kind of superficial ways, like connecting with people her age and her friends, Leland is there to further isolate her and take her away and get them to leave.
It's
It's fucked up. It's fucked
monstrous.
up.
And like the hand washing scene, well within the norm of like a patriarch.
Yes. No,
Like
absolutely.
nothing
Absolutely.
shocking or
Yes.
abnormal,
Yes. And
actually.
like, you know, the thing of like the dad comes out onto the porch when the bad boy comes up on his like Harley to like
Yeah.
be like, no, you better leave is like seems so normal, you know?
Seems so normal, and it's almost spoken of endearingly, the whole like dad better get your shotgun thing.
Yeah.
Nothing he was doing marked him as suspicious to anyone because it's what everyone
Yeah. Yeah.
does.
Yeah. Okay. The next big one, maybe the most content warning scene of the film is the like seeing Leland like sexual assault sequence.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my God. And I do also love this scene. I mean, I think we
Yeah.
could say that for every scene through the end of the movie, but
Oh
the way
god,
it
yeah.
starts, even the way it starts, we've sort of established that the holding pattern for Sarah and Leland is like Sarah just spends her evenings sitting at the vanity with her back to the room, but
Mhm.
like looking through the mirror, right?
Mhm.
And so I feel like there's something here also. Leland approaches her with this like thick glass of milk,
Mhm.
and she watches him approach but can't do anything about it, right?
Mhm.
Basically her power in this getting drugged situation is like realizing that it's going to happen.
Mhm.
Leland makes her drink this, yeah, this I guess milk.
Which is drugged, clearly.
Yes, yeah,
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 yeah, yeah.
definitely. And later she will be sort of conked out, paralyzed on the bed because of it. And I guess it's then that Leland turns on the fan to
Yeah.
like muffle the sound of what he is about to do,
Which
which is
is
like, to me, that is like the payoff of the two
oh yeah.
seasons of
Yeah.
setting up electricity and Bob,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's yes. And like I feel like I might have said like I in Lonely Souls I might have been like is the fan on to mask sounds. So I might have like teased this a bit, but like I think this is like such like the fan has been terrifying since the pilot and we never knew why and now we
That's
do is
it.
like it I think is like a like masterclass in this Lynchian type of like deploying an image and just letting it sit and sit and sit, and then when you feel like it, coming
Oh
back and giving it
man.
a concrete meaning that like still it is still terrifying in like the pilot just on its own. It doesn't take away from like the abstract horror of that, and then the concrete horror just makes it
Mm.
so much worse in a good way.
Oh, it's remarkable. Okay, here's the thing. Bob crawls in through the window. Leland obviously is in the hallway, right? I
Yeah.
kind of I kind of wonder
Mm,
if him crawling in through the window is just it's like another part of the illusion, making it
Yeah.
seem like this is coming from outside of the
Oh,
nuclear
that's
family home.
yeah. Yeah. I wasn't even I was just thinking about it like as an image, but like to make it be like yeah, it's coming from quote unquote outside. And
Yeah, the
like
danger is people intruding on the home, threatening the family,
yeah.
and not from within, right?
And like that he's like, I thought you always knew it was me, but like is still going through this pantomime of like climbing in the window. Yeah. Oh man.
Fuck. Oh god, that makes me sick to think about.
It's this is yeah, it's okay. I'm
I mean, that's Firewalk with me.
yeah, no kidding. Okay, for actually one thing I want to say because this was in the dream sequence too for a moment. We hear very faintly the like Laura,
Do we?
which is from the pilot of Sarah Palmer in the empty house
Wait.
being like Laura.
Oh. Oh shit, dude. Okay, so
Yeah.
she is like calling. Oh my god.
Yeah. Like the it was in the dream sequence and I was like, wow, yeah, she is being haunted by her death from the future. And again here. And like there's like that is like around the same time as there's like a inexplicable flash of blue light before Bob crawls in. And it's like these are like the you know the hallmarks of like this
Mm.
fucked up spirit things are intruding on the world, you know? But like Lily, I'm gonna tell you that sound like let's
Mm-hmm.
just mark upon your memory the idea of like
Yes.
being haunted through time by Sarah Palmer going, Laura, and just keep it in your mind because that's one that I'm going to
Okay.
tell you will come back somehow.
Okay.
And ve- it's
Mm.
driving me crazy.
Wow. Okay. I can't wait to learn more about that. I also think like with how these images were deployed early and already had the dread as if we knew them, there's also like a bit of a non like a time travel-y horror aspect
Yeah.
to that too. Like
No, totally.
it's like truly haunting to think that
Yeah.
I felt the sort of violent power instrumentalization of the fan before I knew. It
Yeah.
makes it feel as if this actually all had already happened and I had already experienced it.
No, right? Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's like if you do end up rewatching the show at some point, like it's crazy how much I know that I gaslit you and we did all that and you knew but you didn't know and you kind of just really didn't know about
I'm
Leland.
really good at repressing.
Yeah, but the thing is it's kind of crazy how much it's all there. Like
Shit.
I had spoiled myself on this before I ever watched the show and it's like all
Uh,
there from the pilot. It's fucked. And again fucking like I said this in Lonely Souls, but like in the pilot when they fucking drug Sarah Palmer to make her calm down, you know, like oh,
yes.
it's just and okay, I like and just again fuck that guy who was like Sarah Palmer is also evil and responsible for this anyway. But I also think like the thing about turning the fan on is like it's such a like a ceiling fan would not cover the sounds of sexual assault, you know? It's such a like gesture edit like while also
It is
drugging
a
her, you
gesture.
know?
There's no earthly way Sarah Palmer, the only other person in the house, doesn't know what's happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like she must.
But it's like it's the same as crawling in through the window. It's like a gesture
It's
at
pantomime,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Um
It's pretending that anyone is interested in covering this up, even though Leland thinks that everyone knows and is just not saying anything.
yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Fuck.
And I mentioned this a bit earlier, but like I think it's she is like I'm gonna steal from your notes where you say Laura is writhing sexually, but in a distraught, anxious way, which is true. And it's like I think that she is eroticizing this experience. Like we see her at like before slash as Bob comes in, like in like I don't know, an erotic position. And like we know from way back in season one, the like he really likes my fire. And I think
Mm-hmm.
it's like again, it really reminds me of everything we said in the like Bobby Peru, everything in Wild at Heart. And
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
honestly, I think I like it. Everyone should right now pay $3 and go listen to our Wild at Heart episode, and you will listen to that and understand what I'm saying here, and it will feel so smart. But I think it's like it's really the like everything I was saying about like she is trying to in the very limited space that she has for agency and to like
Yeah.
be a human with any desire or agency, like being like eroticizing this is the only way that she can cope with it and can like try to find some semblance of positive desire, or just the same way as like it's so funny that we shot that guy. It's the only way you can cope, you know?
Completely. Yeah, I completely agree with your read
And
here.
it's like that's so real and so rough and like so I feel like it's it doesn't feel like something that a man director should be able to capture as well as David Lynch does.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
I I almost want to be offended at him for trying, but it works. It completely
Yeah,
does.
yeah.
I
And
think there's also something similar in the Wild at Heart episode. We also talk about like sort of like femme gender performance in that
oh,
same
yeah,
way.
totally.
The fact of Laura going to bed in like sort of old school lingerie every night feels similar as like a way to maybe retain some control, or maybe I don't even know, man.
Yeah.
Like she's in this like silken sort of short nightgown here
Mhm.
that feels like you wouldn't necessarily expect it.
It is the like if I'm going to be forced into this, I'm going to meet it on my terms, you know?
Yeah, yeah, totally.
It's like just the like seeing that it's Leland and then just cut to breakfast. Like with the like implication of like
Oh,
and this ended the scene didn't end there, but it's breakfast now is like such a horrifying cut, you know?
it's so relentless. I
Oh
mean,
god, yeah.
it's the only way that we could really feel what Laura would be feeling in this moment, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't have like a moment of reprieve. Oh, the scene's over. Oh, the white horse thing also happens here.
Oh my god, yes, 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 yes. The white horse. Oh my god. There's so much in this movie. This episode's gonna
There's
be 12
so
hours long.
much.
Um, no, but like, okay, I mean, okay, I think also the white horse is a little bit there's a read on it that is a bit clarified here. We talked about this in our episode of like death, ever a whole lot of things. There's also a degree to which a like sedative or whatever, like heroin type thing in milk, kind of white horse.
Oh, horse being heroin, and she is later injected with a sedative. I see what you mean. Yeah. You could also see how being drugged would cause a person to hallucinate, I guess.
Yeah,
And it's like
totally.
funny that that did not occur to me upon watching Lonely Souls. Obviously, the content of the vision or hallucination is still important. I think I stand by my initial read, which is like this is a majestic, beautiful thing that comes to you and yet does not help,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? It's like, well, it's sort of like the angel at the end of the movie. I guess
Mm.
that kind of expanded my vision of it, like this majestic glowing thing that it lets you know that there is beauty, sure.
Mhm.
And maybe for
Mhm.
Laura at the end of the movie that is really meaningful, but the angel did not save her.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
the white horse does nothing for Sarah.
Yeah.
I think the initial comparison I made was toward the waiter in Lonely Souls, right? Who just goes, "I'm
Mm.
so sorry," and like that's all he can muster, despite maybe being sent from some like better realm.
Yeah.
There's such a like, the more we talk about this show, the more I'm like, there's really a futility to everything.
Yeah.
And it's amazing that the show does not feel darker on a moment to moment level. None of the clues help anyone.
Mhm.
None of the kindness prevents any of the cruelty. It's like all what is the point of any of it? Fuck.
No, totally. And it's like I have said like I think I'm interested in Twin Peaks because it is a show about failure, you know? And it
Yeah.
really is.
Completely, completely.
Okay. Honestly, there's like the rest of the kind of like the the day where like she's going through school and no one's saying anything. I kind of said all my stuff there just about how like she's sobbing class all day and nobody gives a fuck. I don't
Mhm.
if you have things do you have things to say there or shall we do the last night?
Oh, you know what I want to talk about is, so Laura after breakfast is leaving the house, and there's something about her eye movements that I really love. Like she
Mm.
seems to be realizing that there is some connection between Bob and the power lines, right?
Yeah, because we do get the
She's like,
power line warbling here. Yeah.
and she's really frantically like scanning the sky and scanning the power lines.
Mm-hmm.
I love this as like that is a thing that PTSD
Mm,
does, right? Like I don't totally understand the relationship between like trauma and eye movements, but it's the thing at the basis of like EMDR therapy.
hmm.
And there's a thing about preventing traumas from like setting in by like the Tetris thing that people always suggest after you like watch a car
Uh-huh,
accident or
uh-huh,
whatever.
uh-huh.
The idea is these chaotic, like fast, all over the place eye movements. And certainly like when I'm feeling extremely triggered, I notice that like what I look at is different. I don't look at people's faces. I don't look at like the task at hand. I just sort of like my eyes like sort of dart around in the same way.
Yeah,
The first place that I saw this represented was the movie Rashomon.
I really
There's
need
like
to
a
watch
sexual
Rashomon.
assault scene where the woman just sort of like stares off into the sky,
Hmm.
and that hit me so hard. It just like that is a really small detail that I feel again like wow, David Lynch, it is remarkable that you got that down. This is when I am like having a really paranoid spiral in public. This is how I'm looking around. So the quick thing with Laura in the classroom and the hands on the clock are going crazy and she's just sort of like time lapsing around. It's like she is slipping out of time and she is the only one
Hmm.
doing that,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
Which definitely also tracks with that being like what the Black Lodge does to you and her feeling like she is already dead. She is already sort of apart from time. She can't reach out to other people. She's just like totally the world is just going on without her, right?
Hmm.
I don't know. Again, like a very empathetic and to me relatable way to depict that. Um Time. It goes fast, it goes slow, it goes backwards.
Yeah, yeah.
Motifs.
And like like trauma makes you associate, like reach desperately for pattern associations that aren't actually associating Leland with the
Mm.
power lines, like, you know what I mean? Like, I think the way that these spirits are associated with things, like, is like, it's like if the, like, paranoid associations that you make that don't really make sense were real and true because evil spirits made it real.
I really so appreciate that this movie refuses completely to call Laura Palmer crazy for thinking any of this stuff.
Oh my god, yeah, no, absolutely. Okay, okay, The Last Night.
Yes.
So
Okay. Yeah, let's do it.
I guess like there is in there like a little scene of her with Bobby also, and like honestly, which I bring up mostly because then like the first bit of the final light is like her in her bedroom getting ready to go out. Um, Shout out to she's drinking Jack Daniels, but they scratched the Jack Daniels label sufficiently so that it's legally not Jack Daniels. Again,
That's
as a
really
girl who was on a
funny.
CBC TV show, and they were very clear about which drinks we were and weren't allowed to like show
Oh
the
my
labels of
god.
towards camera. I'm always very noticing because they were very minutious about like you're holding a beer can, rotate it 45 degrees so that we can't see the label.
Wow, that's really funny.
Anyway, but that wasn't what I was gonna say, is that, like, James calls her and is like, "Do you even love me?" Which is the same as Bobby earlier, when he's like, "Do you even love me, or is it just the blow?" And I think it's, like, important that both of them are like, "Wow, do you even love me?" And both of them do not truly see or understand her, like, literally even a
Hmm.
little bit,
Hmm.
you know? Like,
If anything, Bobby is a little more at peace with this. Like he's sad for a
yeah,
second and then basically gets over it. He's happy with this being transactional.
yeah. I really love, like, when while she's talking to James, she, like, accidentally, like, flips the phone and is, like, upside down, which is a great gag, but also, yeah, he's not listening. You might as well be talking into the wrong end of it,
Ah,
you know what I mean? Like, he
yeah,
literally
yeah.
cannot hear you, and but
Mm.
also just for, like, "God, why did I say that? 15 minutes is, like, so good. It's so real? Um and
Yeah.
then the angel disappearing from the painting fucking kills me. Like, the angels are all gone, like, Christ? It's ugh.
And then in the next scene with James, which we'll get into, she says to James, "Your Laura disappeared. It's just me now." I can't help but see some sort of connection there.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Like,
I think the way he sees her as an angel, and again, doesn't this make it crazy that when we saw James's flashback in episode 1 or 2 of his, like, Laura vision, it was her being like, "James, I love you."
oh god.
Like, it's,
Yeah. fucking narcissism. I feel like basically Laura here is communicating her hopelessness, and the her perception of like the futility of everything. Again, in her journal, she writes that she's going to die on this night.
Yeah.
James cannot see it or acknowledge it at all. Instead, sort of tries to like forcefully kiss
Oh
her,
my
like
god.
really forcefully. It actually kind of startled me
Yeah. Yeah.
in a way that kind of contradicts their first sort of kiss in the movie, where Laura puts James's hand like on her body as if to like signal him to like feel her boobs, and then James like moves his hand away. I thought that that was setting up like James is a
Mm.
nice guy, he doesn't want to have sex, he only cares about her feelings, and that's like so clearly not actually what the movie is trying to say.
Well,
The
I think it's
I
like
think James likes his self-image as a sensitive guy, but he doesn't actually want to listen or not objectify Laura.
I think the way he kisses her there is performative. I think this is because
Mm-hmm.
this is like closer to the end of the scene. Like the first whole bit is like he tries to kiss her and she pushes him away. And at that point he's not too like so forceful yet. And he's like, "What's wrong with you?" And she's just like,
Mm.
"That's right, James. There's no place left to go." And like he gives the dumbest fucking thing where he's
Yeah.
like, "What's wrong with us? We have everything." And it's like, girl, shut the fuck up. You have your idea of your like my suburban misery story where like, what's wrong with us? We live in Twin Peaks. We have everything, but we're not happy. And it's like you don't see her at all. You she's getting assaulted and exploited every day, James. This isn't like a fucking like first world problem shit. Like, he's
No.
like, "Oh, Laura." He's like, "Oh, Laura," and like slaps him. And he's like, "You always hurt the ones you love. Shut the fuck up. This
Oh, I
isn't
hate
like,
this.
he's like, "Say whatever you want. I know you love me and I love you." And that's what like this is the thing. This is what you're saying. Like he is part of the problem. He's the fucking like misogyny, ownership of women, like the I don't care what you say.
Yeah.
I know you love me is like he's the fucking he's it's all him. It or like it's
Hey.
men. It's the whole thing. Bob is the evil men do. Like and and
Yeah, that's
and, and
it.
then she's like, "I do love you. Let's get lost together." And like that to me is such another potent like sublimating, I don't know if I'm really using that word right, but like her desire into his, like it's like she's saying what he wants to hear the same way she does to Harold, to Bobby, to Jacques, to Bob in a way, right? And
Mhm. Mhm.
trying to find a way to have her desire in there. Like she wants to escape and she is entertaining that fantasy
Huh.
by like with him in that moment, and then realizes like, "Oh my god, he could try to kill you." And then it says the Bobby killed a guy, and he just doesn't believe her at all. He doesn't listen. He's just like, "What are you talking about?
This
Bobby didn't
motherfucker.
kill anybody." Like like Harold again, like he doesn't react to that as if what she says is real at all. And like she's just like, it's not even worth talking to him. She's like, "Right." And it's like she's realizing like, how would I even find the body? Like, because she's like, "Do you want me to show
Mm.
you?
Oh,
Do
yeah.
you want to see?" He's like, "See what?" Because he's a fucking idiot and doesn't believe women. And she's just like, "Oh yeah, right." Which feels like it's like, yeah, how would we even find it? What's the point? You know?
That makes sense. This makes sense. It's interesting and horrific that when Laura says he could try to kill you, I didn't immediately know which man in her life
Yeah.
she was referring to, because it could also like now she knows that her dad has been.
Oh, she means Bob for sure.
I I want to.
I mean,
Oh, she does mean Bob. Wait,
I think
she means Bob or Bobby
I
for
think
sure.
she means Bob. Absolutely.
But she is like trying to. I think she's trying to say something about Bob and then realizes
Mm.
that she like doesn't feel able to talk about that and therefore starts talking about Bobby, right? That's her backtrack.
Oh, and then she's like, "Bobby killed a guy." That's so true. I didn't even think. God, that's so true. I was just fully with her as like her brain kind of ping ponging around. But like,
Mm.
yeah, no, I think when she says that, she absolutely means Bob because she's like, "What if I did run away with you?" And then she's like, "You would kill him. He'd kill him." I think you're right that this is the same. This is like the same as her being like, "Donna, you're my best friend," but she can't say it. This is her like Yeah, the backtrack, absolutely.
And I mean, if I was dating James, would I be able to tell him that?
Yeah.
Probably not. He doesn't fucking listen at all.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
No, I think if she told him, like, "My father's been raping me," he'd be like, "What? No."
Yeah, probably like you think that because you're on drugs or something,
Yeah.
and not. It's the other way around.
And that's when he kisses her really forcefully. And yeah.
Oh,
No,
oh,
yeah. No, that's the thing. And I think, like, and then, like, we get the, like, reverse shot, and her eyes are, like, open, steely, pulls back, and she's like, "I'm not fucking phased." Like, to me, that's, like, James's vision of this is, like, she thinks I'm just a little baby boy, and I don't understand that she thinks I'm not like bad boy Bobby, who she says killed a guy. I need to show her that I am a bad boy on my motorbike, and, like, is trying to connect with her, like, by meeting her. Like, she's like, "I live in a world of horrors you can never understand." He's like, "Yes, I can. I'm kissing you forcefully, and I'm able to be a bad man too, if that's what you really want." And she's like, "This is nothing to me. You're fucking
this is nothing
pathetic,
to
you
me.
know?" Like, not only, like, you're trying to be something horrible, and you're literally you're failing, you know?
Okay, like best, honestly, most hilarious and pathetic example of that is a minute after this when Laura gets off the motorcycle and James rides off. He waits for the light to turn red to drive, as like
Yeah.
as if to be like, no, I'm a bad boy and I drive through red lights.
Yeah. Um,
And that's how the red light image is paid off.
yeah. God. And I think also just another moment of, like, she's like, "How about this, James?" and just flips him off. It does have a comedy to it. I think
Yeah.
is hitting camp again. And then yeah, when she runs off, she, like, grabs him and, like, screams like, "I love you, James." And I think, like, that's what Cheryl Lee should have won 10 million Oscars every year. Because, like, that's what
Mm.
really sells it, is, like, all of this about how he's a fucking piece of shit, but, like, he has also still, like, he was the person with which she could believe in that, like, that vision of things, you know? And she loves him for that. She does, in
Mm.
a way, and she screams it in the
Mm.
same way that she like, loves, like, Bobby and Donna, and is like, and then she runs off because it's not enough.
It's really interesting to me that she runs off and just like happens to be right next to where Ronette and Leo and Jacques are.
Yeah.
I think this is because she like in the previous scene remembered that she was late for that plan,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So this was probably always her plan.
Oh,
But it
yeah.
something about it does feel really fated
Yeah, no,
that she just like
definitely.
gets off their motorcycle and they're there.
Definitely. I also say there's something because she, like, lets out this, like, this is, like, before that, but when she's like, "Oh, he'll kill you," she, like, lets out, like, a blood-curdling scream. And it's almost like she has a face, like, as if she's
Yeah.
realizing something, but also as if she's,
As
like,
if she's looking at
yeah,
something.
as if she's, like, seeing something behind him, and then there's just nothing there.
That's one I really don't have an explanation for, but it's intense.
Yeah, yeah, let's
Um
remember that.
bef-
Let's remember that.
let's remember that.
But either way,
Sure.
it's just, like, so the fact that it's not explained is so good. Ah, you know?
Hmm. Hey, you know what I'm remembering here? James like doesn't have contact with his mom because she is what I think she's implied to be like a sex worker and an alcoholic or
She's
something.
like a slutty poet is yeah.
I wonder how much of James's bullshit here is because of things he has been told about his own mother
Mm,
in the same vein.
totally. Yeah.
Like it doesn't feel like a coincidence that his mom is a character who has like some surface level resemblances to Laura, or at
Mhm.
least like I could see how James would read it that way. And maybe that's also why he's very dismissive of her. I don't know.
Yeah. And then it's the cabin.
Yeah, well, I can come up with as many things as I want, but eventually we're going to get here.
God.
Okay. Okay.
I was looking at the, like, recap on the fandom wiki, and it says that they have a quote unquote orgy in the cabin, and I think it's worth saying, like, straight up. I think it perhaps starts that way, and then at the point when like Leo and Jacques tie them up, and she's like, "Don't tie me up tonight." is like that's rape. And it's
Completely.
just like for these men, it is just so casual and accepted. It just happens like that, and then they go out to piss, and like it's just like so grim. The way that she's like talking to them, their expectation is that you do this, and they're like, whatever. These girls like it rough. Like this is how it is, and they're gonna like it, and then we'll see them again next week, and we'll pay them some more money, and like
Don't tie me up tonight is so like
no.
this is such a
Well, and
quotidian
just like
thing,
when Leo
right?
gets up, she's like, "Leo, will you please untie me?" And like it's so like horrifyingly like quotidian, you know?
Yeah.
Ugh, it's
And
so
he just says
much.
like shut up or something as if this is like his nagging
Yeah.
wife.
And like sees,
It's
he
so
like sees that someone knocked out Jacques, and he just leaves. And it's literally get yourself killed by spiders, dude, you know? Like become a Frankenstein and get killed by spiders. Like but yeah, and again, this is just such a like I think this is like we everything in season 1 when it was like we have to remember that this lighthearted town produces the horrors, and like we were really locked in on that, and a lot of the audience wasn't throughout the entire run of the show, and like that's why we need this movie to be like this, to be like, yeah, the lighthearted town Twin Peaks produces this. It's so fucked up. And then Leland is there, and
And then Leland
and
is
he's
there. And
like he comes in and she screams and he just starts yelling, like screaming right back, you know?
yeah, this is so good. I feel like this is just him maybe like reveling in the intensity, right?
Absolutely, yeah. I like he brings them down to the train car. There's like the flashlight is shining on the three of them again in a way that's like impossible to be diegetic, but it's just like really compelling.
The camera's the eye, man.
Yeah, yeah,
The
no,
flashlight
and
is constantly in places that the flashlight would not actually be shone, but it just totally works. Its atmosphere.
and so God, there's so much. I like okay, I mean the big thing that we've been talking about the whole time, but like the Leland saying I always thought you knew it was me is like holy shit, you know?
That feels worse than almost anything
Yeah.
I've ever seen in a movie. I always thought
Yeah.
you knew it was me. Yeah, that just completely recasts my entire understanding of their relationship and of the show.
Yeah.
Always thought you knew it was me. And also in the next line from Bob,
Dale
I
Cooper's a
never
fucking mark. Sorry, continue.
um in the line from Bob, I never knew you knew it was me. There's an odd kind of, I don't know, credit to Laura in that, right?
Yeah.
Like the fact that she saw this evil spirit.
Yeah.
Laura's kind of remarkable.
Yeah. No, definitely.
No one else could see the fucking supernatural aspect of this, and she could, even though there's kind of no reason she would be able to from Bob's perspective. It's almost like in a really terrible way patting her on the back or giving her credit. Like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, fuck Leland. Fuck Leland.
fuck Leland, this is the fuck Leland hour. Ronette's also here,
Yeah.
I should say, and she has a line here that I really love, which is she
Mhm.
says, "Father, if I die now, will you come see me?"
Mhm.
And for a second, I thought she was seeing Bob as her own dad. And, Bob Leland is sort of the stand in for,
Mhm.
he represents fatherhood, the power that fathers have. And I know that this is like pretty easily dispelled. Ronette was not seeing her own dad, but I also think that ambiguity was on purpose.
I think it's funny because actually I have the original script up, and actually none of these lines from Ronette are in the original script. Because she also
Oh,
says like, I don't look at me, I'm so dirty, I'm not ready. And it's interesting because like the shots to her are like also very obviously, she is in the corner of the train car and Bob and Laura are not in frame, and it certainly is giving like this was shot in a different shooting session, at the same location.
huh.
And so it must have been something that like came up on the set. And actually, yeah, like let me see. The
Mm.
Guardian, the angel stuff is not in the original script at all. Literally, like not the angels go away, not the angel in the painting.
Oh my
Um,
God, no
the
way.
word angel does not appear in the shooting script at all.
That's fascinating. It feels like such like it feels like the one new symbol introduced in this movie that I'm most interested in.
Yeah, no, definitely. Shout out David
Because I
Lynch.
feel like angels had been alluded to with, like, if the Black Lodge beings are demons, then the White Lodge beings would be angels. But I'm so interested in the fact that the angel appears to Ronette and cuts her restraints, and she goes
Hmm.
off and survives, but it does not do the same for Laura.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess like but before the angel, I'll just say like I do really like those lines from her. Like it is a little bit feels like and cutting to Ronette for this now, but like it is I think really effective at just like playing into the like gross horror of this whole sequence. And then like the all of a sudden like the horrifying music stops and we see the guardian angel and she like lifts her hands and it's like it really is like it's crazy that here and in the last scene, like in the midst of this most not cynical, but like grim, like hopeless vision of things, there is
Yeah.
a literal guardian angel and it works. Like it hits is crazy, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
I think it's really interesting because like Laura does get a guardian angel in the end, but it's like her angel isn't there to save her. It's to give her something to look at. It's like part of the spectacle of death and being in the lodge and like it's Lonely Souls. It's Julie Cruz singing while Maddie's being murdered, you know? Like it's
And it's the White Horse, I would say.
oh yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All of this. Yes. Yeah. I think like the other things I have to say about this is like it's this has been horrifying the whole time and it like really dials up the like capital H, capital M horror movie stuff. Here, like we see the knife pulled up, we see the splatter of blood, we get the like choral music.
Mm-hmm.
Like it
Mm-hmm.
feels like a slasher scene all of a sudden in like very like archetypical ways and it really sells it. Like it doesn't feel trite. It just goes it like goes into being a slasher for this scene in the same with the same energy as it does being a like comedic soap opera in Twin Peaks the TV show and it like manages to work as a climax of all of the much more well subdued is not the right word but like the horror in the rest of this movie has been about this like horrifying grounded personal experience and now it's becoming
Yeah.
the horror of like the fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre is coming at you with his chainsaw and it
Yeah.
manages that transition and then in the middle of it there's a guardian angel and like the fact that it manages to like keep this tone going throughout this is like kind of crazy.
That's how I feel about Twin Peaks as well, right?
Yeah.
Like how they manage to not lose you with these completely 180 tone shifts.
Yeah.
You never lose the feeling you're supposed to have.
So yeah, like Bob shows the mirror and we see Bob's face on her face and like this to me is like saying his intention is to possess her. And again, we heard this from Leland in Arbitrary Law, and he was like, she was too strong. And it seems like the ring somehow played a part in this because like Mike comes in, and I think it's again really striking that it feels like Mike is following to like somehow interrupt things. And then he opens the door, throws the ring in, like Bob kind of like chucks out Ronette, like whatever, she's not a part of this. And then he just leaves. Like he's like, all right, I'm not here to save you. I just wanted to give you this ring, which will somehow like it feel like if what he wants is to get his Garmin Bosia back, maybe he does want her to die because dying, like killing her will let the Garmin Bosia come to him in a way where if Bob possessed her,
Mm,
it would like stay in her and continue to ferment as opposed to being released.
sure. This makes sense to me. And would also help explain why Dale says not to take the ring.
Yeah. But which is interesting because like if that's what it is, and like the more I say it, the more I'm like, maybe that is just what how we read it. But like I think it also makes Dale say that is also fraught. Like I think something that I maybe will agree with Leland and Arbitrary Law about is that I think like everything we said about how
Hmm.
like Laura decided to not take on Bob, and if this is like intergenerational abuse and whatever, like it's complicated because she gets killed. But I think that there is something like admirable and speaks to her strength of character in saying, no, I'm not taking this on. I'm not becoming someone else who kills people and assaults people and like takes Bob in as a part of me.
Yeah.
And Dale is like, no, because it would mean that you would survive, you should. And I think this like speaks to, I think, Dale's like fatal flaw of optimism of like,
Oh.
you know what I mean? Like Dale's kind of like, as long as you're not dead, we can figure it out. You know what I mean? Like,
Not that he has ever figured it out.
but he always believes that, right? Like he's like, yeah, yeah,
Yes,
like
yeah.
you know, I believe in America. I believe in going into the Black Lodge, and like I think if I have a read on that is Dale being like, okay, as long as you're not, I don't want you to get killed. I would rather that you don't die, and then you're possessed by Bob, and then maybe somehow I'll find my way out of the Black Lodge, and I'll beat my doppelganger, and we'll get your evil spirit out of you, and then everything will be fine. And you're not, as long as you're not killed now, then we can maybe find a way there. And it's this like completely unfounded optimism that is like what makes Dale fail as a character, I think. Like work as a character and fail like
Mm.
he, you know, I not fail like as in I don't like it, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, man. Okay. So maybe that line is less about giving us an objective judgment on the ring and more just telling us what Dale thinks. Yeah, this makes a lot of sense to me. Um, hey, can I throw another little like complicating factor into this whole scene? Leland does say, "No, don't make me do this."
Yeah.
At some point, he like yowls that.
Mhm.
Is yowls a word? You get what I mean.
Mhm.
What do we think is up with that? Like that would sort of suggest that there are moments where he is more Leland and less wanting to do this. I don't know. Like I guess it's possible that he just wanted to continue molesting his daughter forever and didn't have an interest in killing her. And that's like a bridge too far. Like that's where Bob comes in maybe.
Like
I
I
don't
think that
I
there
don't know.
is a like I do think that we can't entirely dismiss as much like I think we are like fuck Leland. I think we can't entirely dismiss that he does feel like he loves her. Like it's just a very
Right.
self-serving love, you know? And
Yeah.
I also think it's important that like the no comes out right as she like thrusts her hand up with the ring. And it's like
Oh.
we get the shot of like the hand in the light in a way that again seems to somehow imply like that her putting on the ring somehow foils Bob's plan. And that my read on that is that no is like both Bob being like, no, I can't possess her now if that's what we think the ring does, and Leland being like, no, this is going to force me to kill her, as opposed to like maybe Leland also thinks it would be better if Bob goes into her and she doesn't die, you know?
Don't make me do this as in kill. I wanted to do the other thing. Oh, so don't make me do this is addressed to Laura and not to
I
Bob
think it's
from
I
Leland.
I think it
Interesting.
can be both, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Man,
Like I think for all that we're saying fuck Leland, I think that like he doesn't want to kill his daughter, you know?
th- they're continuous. They are mostly on the same page, but not entirely. It's
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could point out that Leland doesn't just constantly smell of engine oil, right? There is something that
Mhm.
surfaces in him in these
Mhm.
moments.
I think it's just that he is a co-conspirator, like we see with Teresa. Um, but yeah, check out the screen share because it is literally the
Sure.
frame when she puts her hand up with the ring, which is a great shot. And then it says, "Don't
Mm,
make me do this," you know.
that is a great shot.
So we get all that. We get the like Garmin Bosia, which I've kind of said a bunch of my stuff about. My only other note is the evil thriller dance when Leland does his like big dip down. Um,
Which I read as a bow, by the way.
oh, the taking a bow. Oh my god, that's great. Oh, that's amazing because and I think that also really like seals like the Garmin Bosia and the pain and suffering consumers are also us watching the show and the movie. You know?
Mm, this is basically right at the end.
Yeah.
We do a good podcast, Sadie.
Yeah. Do you have more to say about like this scene in particular?
Oh yeah, so the fact of blood being soaked into Leland's shirt, it makes me think about that one Log Lady segment where she says something like pain for the victim, pain for the inflictor of pain. And I think about just generally like the sort of degrading effect of violence. And I think how there is like some deeply repressed part of Leland that hates everything he's been doing. Oh, sorry. Someone's at the door. I assume it's a package. Do you mind if I just check this?
Hi, everybody. It's Sadie. When we came back, Lily started saying something else entirely. So yeah, there's probably a part of Leland that hates what he's doing, makes you think. Anyway, time for the next train of thought. Okay, but yeah, I was asking, do you have other things to say about this like red room scene?
So, to be honest, as we've gotten deeper into this and I've become less certain of this read, but I was saying earlier how I felt like because of the whole non-linear nature of the Black Lodge, maybe Dale's evil version has always existed here, right? And maybe that's just something that everyone has. And it sometimes surfaces, sometimes it can take the reins, but it exists for everyone. And like
Very Jungian.
I know, that guy always creeps into my thinking. Whether or not I want him to, but if you're going with that read, then I guess you could say like there are these like two versions of yourself that are dueling for dominance, good and evil or whatever you want to call them. And it seems like, like Laura, for example, her outside self can die and this inner version can survive? Question mark? I guess maybe if something really bad happened to Annie, it could be similar where like a version of her remains in the Black Lodge. Also, Leland in the finale, we see a version of Leland in the Black Lodge after his like outside physical self has died. And the only real instance we get of a character like integrating a worldly self and a Black Lodge entity is Leland, who obviously does the worst stuff in this whole show. So, yeah, I'm not totally like sold on this read, but I feel like I want to try to flesh it out.
Yeah, please.
This the thing about this read is that it is like pro compartmentalizing and basically saying no, you should not integrate these selves, the good and the evil self. You should not accept the evil self because it is evil.
Well, I think it is like because we are if we take the arm to be Mike's like evilness per like given form, like
Yeah,
they're in a way uniting to get this Garmonbosia,
true.
like I think we like forget about Jungian psychology and whatever, but like evil Dale is out there. If they are dueling for dominance and one can be contained in the Black Lodge, like what does that mean, and what would it look like if like Dale was like really split into like the evil Dale and the good Dale, and like what would it look like if they were integrated, I think are very useful questions to think about. And then we have the actual last scene, which makes me cry every single time, which is Laura and Dale are in the lodge together for I guess 25 years, and the angel shows up. And I think like what really gets me about this one is like everything we've been saying about like this performance and like performance of beauty being useless, but it feels sublime here to me. Like I've talked about how there are like bits of Twin Peaks that make me get the idea of liking America as much as it also complicates that,
Yeah.
I think this, like, bits in Mulholland Drive and Inland Empire and like the Nohai Banda of it all, this makes me go, oh, even though it's useless and doesn't help anyone and is built on suffering and we condemn it, when the sublime performance of beauty appears, it's beautiful. And I believe in that. And it really hits me. And I think it also just like my classic meme of like other directors being like women's suffering is transcendental. And I'm like, hello, human resources. And then David Lynch does it. And I'm like, oh, you're sweet. And like, but I think it's like, this is the redemptive side of what I condemn as the evil of Dale watching like Julie Cruz in Lonely Souls, because it's like, and I think it just really, what it really hits for me
Mm.
is like, you can be in the deepest suffering imaginable. Like, you can be in the most miserable possible situation, like everything that Laura has been through, and then like being in the place that is the persona, like the total embodiment of suffering, and like being in the worst limbo for 25 years, forever, who the fuck
Mm-hmm.
knows. It's
Mm-hmm.
functionally hell, and you can find an angel, and you can find the like thing of beauty as you're sobbing that will make you smile
Wow.
as you are, and like that hits for me every time.
It's almost as if it says like beauty is possible, even if
Yes,
you are
yeah,
not
no, definitely,
experiencing
definitely.
it.
And like I think it's just like, yeah, like the way that she gets to her angel is by being killed and going to the Black Lodge, is like, fuck. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I have two things to say here. First of all, you know what it reminds me of is the very end of the final exit of the Disciples of Essentia.
Mm. Yeah.
Do you remember how, what the fuck are their names? Mira and Celeste, they're like, spoiler alert, skip ahead 30 seconds. They're in the cage at the end of the movie
Mm-hmm.
and they just watch this bug do like a weird little bug thing. And
Mm-hmm.
that's like the little bit of reprieve they get in this eternal torture where they will live forever.
Yeah.
Second of all, thinking about what this kind of abstract, out of reach beauty or grace means to Laura, I'm also reminded of Donna again, how like Donna
Mm.
represents sort of a pristine, untouched thing, and why it would make,
Mm.
why it would be so distressing for Laura to see Donna's, what she perceives as innocence, be like, I don't know, I guess the word would be defiled.
Yeah.
She needs there to be something out there in the universe that is beautiful, even if it can't save her, even if it isn't for her to experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I noticed like in this moment where she's sobbing and nodding, she goes like, yeah, yeah. Um,
Yeah.
that itself, I don't even know who she's saying it to, but that itself I found really touching. My notes here say, I really don't know how to interpret the angel, but I'm relieved to see Laura feel some catharsis here. Is there some relief in death? Can Laura possibly be said to be in a better place now? And like, the further we get into this, the less I think she is in a better place. But
Mm.
also, the thing, it does seem to me like the worst possible thing has already
Yeah.
happened.
Well, I think like how I feel about it is like, at every moment except for when I'm seeing the angel, I'm like, this is bad, and the idea
Yeah.
of it is pointless. And then the angel comes on with the music and her crying, and I go, oh yes, I now understand, like being enthralled by
Mm.
the show, by the spectacle, you know?
This is, yeah, this is television and what it means to us. This is the movies and what they mean to us.
And I think that's why it's so important that Dale is there. Like, I think it's also that, like, you know, like
Mm.
I do condemn Dale Cooper. I do think he's a failure and he hasn't, but like he is able to be there with her, and that they're able to be there together, and they're able to have each other, and are able to have their angel, like in a way that like contradicts everything else I say and feel about Dale Cooper. Just that
Mm.
precise angle of it, like refracted, hits me, and I go,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. And it's just also just heartbreaking, you know, like
Oh,
they've,
chills, dude.
yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And like he's there because of his profound failure in Beyond Life and Death, you know, like, yeah.
We need to start season 3 so
I
much.
know, I
We need to
know,
start it
I
so much.
know.
And I guess, look, if you're listening on the main feed, folks, the first episode of season 3 will already be out on the premium feed. So
Oh fuck, that's
go listen to
true.
that.
Oh my god, guys, if you're listening to this and you're like, I need it now, then then
TSTV.show.
$3 is your answer. Okay.
Unless you're listening at TSTV.show, in which case you're listening early and
Thanks.
it's not
And you're
necessarily out.
epic as fuck. But
Yes, thank you. I love your $3.
okay. So this is the best movie ever made. I want to shout out to two names in the credits that I really liked.
Sure.
The transportation captain was Mike Juice Kilgus. And another guy who I didn't write down what he did, but his name is Nate, and then quote unquote Sam Watsfeld. I just like that his name was Nate, but his nickname is Sam.
I think all the time about it must have been some like Disney movie or something. There was a credit to Joseph Joe Fisher.
I actually have a Fire Walk With Me relevant dream, by the way, at
No
the end of our
way.
5 hours and 40 minutes of recording.
Fucking Christ. Oh yeah. Okay, Lily's Nightmare Corner. I have a dream that has nothing to do with any of this
All
that
right.
we can play ourselves out on. I would love to hear about yours
Okay,
first.
I had a dream a while ago, but I saved it for this. It said I had a dream that people were auditioning for Laura in theatrical adaptations of Fire Walk With Me, and it was like a fan thing for these to be filmed and put online as like a fan celebration thing, but also that it was a thing for people to do silly versions of it. Like, here's a Laura speech from Fire Walk With Me, but in a world where she never met her dad or had any of that happen, and the words she's saying are being used to describe how she's like, oh no, I got some plastic in these pancakes I'm making. I love when I write down the details of the dream as soon as I wake up and I'm like, what? And it's done in upbeat musical form. Or like delivering an emotional speech from Fire Walk With Me, but as Plankton from SpongeBob, including a full costume. In the dream, it was a fan thing to give a Laura from Fire Walk With Me speech, and I guess eventually put on a play, so they were quote unquote auditions, but also just like doing the speeches was like a fan show in itself. But the way fan things do it had morphed into a silly thing over time. And then I was thinking about how sad Fire Walk With Me is, and I woke up crying about it.
You woke up crying. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Sadie, thank you so much.
Yay.
That's really excellent. I would love if Twin Peaks had like a live fan culture in like a Rocky Horror way.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Also would be the craziest thing if that was the thing to do it about, was to do silly Laura Fire Walk With Me speeches, but silly mode. What was your dream?
I would not trust basically anyone with that. Okay, my dream was 2 days ago. So a new ChatGPT model had come out, ChatGPT 6, I guess. And I was spending the day with Sam Altman. This is like a bit of a bottle episode. Over the course of the day, Sam Altman realizes, it becomes clear to everyone on the OpenAI team that it has a new, unanticipated, and completely unsolvable flaw. Like something that retroactively ruins everything, all of their work, including previous models and stuff. It's like they just fundamentally misunderstood something about human communication in a way that would have disastrous impacts. And I realized that you're going to listen to this and just be like, yeah, that happened. But it was like they had set a trap for themselves very early on and were just realizing they had done so. And everyone around Sam Altman was trying to lie to him and be like, reviews are good. And, like we've noticed a couple little bugs, but he knows, everyone knows. And I'm just watching him drench himself in sweat. Oh, and by the way, I'm a bird in the stream. I'm a little black and orange bird, sort of like a mynah bird, actually. And he holds me and tries to like keep me from flying away and kind of squeezes me. And also, just reading my last note on this, I'm not sure why, but this was going to be really good news for the province of Quebec. Like Quebec was like psyched about this.
That's so funny. I love that.
It was a really good dream and like a genuinely stirring sort of thriller suspense.
Wow. Well, love it.
Man,
Fire Walk With Me.
Fire Walk With Me.
Except please don't, honestly.
Nobody firewalk with anyone.
I'm good. Fire, I'm good. Fire, stay over there.
Leave me alone.
Fire, get out of here.
Oh my god, wait, it was Donna who was firewalking with Laura.
What?
Donna was firewalking with Laura. She she took her walk on the wild side and it was, she got burned.
Yeah.
And she's actually sort of always inviting people to feel how she feels, and it's really scary for them.
Yeah. Okay.
Shit. Thanks for listening, everyone. This will surely be the longest thing I ever have a hand in. Even like not even this podcast, in anything.
Yeah.
What an odyssey.
Yeah. Look forward to The Missing Pieces on TSTV DVD, and we're gonna record that, which will be my first time seeing it, because when I watched Firewalk with Me for the first time, I thought I immediately need to watch Twin Peaks season 3, and I'm going to be. It is going to take every ounce of my being to wait until we've recorded a couple bonuses and done that. Imagine waiting 25 years
to start season 3. Oh God, I really can't. There have been times, Sadie, in the past, like, how long has it been since we finished season 2? Months. I have come so close so many times to like starting season 3. Just like I would tell myself, no, just a little taste. Just like the first 15 minutes. What is there to say? Man, this has been a life-changing journey in a way.
I know, right? I'm so glad I got you to watch Twin Peaks and do all this.
Wow. Everyone should hang out with their friends and watch TV shows together.
Hell yeah. Specifically Twin Peaks. Okay.
Specifically Twin Peaks.
It's been 5 hours and 45 minutes. Shall we stop recording? Shall we hit them
Let's
with
do
our
our famous sign
our
off.
famous sign out?
1, 2, 3. Wait. 1, 2, 3.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah.
Okay. I am munching.
TSTV is hosted by Sadie Avery Lake and yours truly, Lily Alexander. Our music is by Jamie Page. The art is by Maya Fernandez-Giles. This episode was edited by Sadie. Thank you, Sadie. If you want to get in touch with us, please email us at hellotstv@gmail.com. We may include your mail on a future episode of the show. Let us know if that's okay. If you want to support the show and gain access to our monthly bonus episodes, head over to tstv.show. See you next time.